Quoth the Raven nevermore, as Pittsburgh has defeated Baltimore 4 straight times, having not lost to them since 2019. That was pre-COVID, for anyone wondering. Pittsburgh's also won 8 of 11 in the series, won 2 of 3 coming off the bye week this year. Baltimore 5 of 6 as well, sitting at 8 and 4. Pittsburgh at 5 and 7. Got to take care of business. At least pick up one win over the next 2 meetings with the Ravens from now until New Year's. 3 of the 5 remaining games are, in fact, in division. So if Pittsburgh can take care of business, potentially also defeat the Panthers and the Raiders over the next 2 weeks before Christmas, they should be in a good spot, maybe get some help, but it starts today. And as it's Steelers week for the Ravens, it's Ravens week for the Steelers. And as the Steelers even posted this morning, Ravens Steelers, enough said. So enough said. Pittsburgh, they've been able to run the ball 10 times better than they did before the bye week, since the bye week, the past 3-4 games. 3 and 4. 3 out of 4. Should have beat the Bengals, I thought, again. Can't settle for field goals today. They've grown accustomed to having to settle for 3 the past couple games. Even with Boswell out, Matthew Wright was damn near perfect Boswell activated off IR yesterday, so he's back. They released Matthew, right? So, of course, thank him for his services. But Boswell is back. Hopefully, of course, there's no issues in the kicking game with him today. But, once again, yeah, Pittsburgh with a 1-4 start, squeaked out a win against Tampa. Went on the bye week then after a couple more losses. And then since then, as mentioned, they've won 3 of 4, but they offensively, they got to score touchdowns. They can't settle for 3. This defense, no doubt about it, is probably one of those games, once again, down to the wire. Why not? Why the hell not? They're going to have to win in the game. But most points they've scored this year has been 24 in a win. So, I thought they should have beat the Bengals again a couple weeks ago. They scored 30 in that game, but they lost. So, that's neither here nor there as CBS takes us to Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium in the Steel City as the state of Pennsylvania, I might add, extended hunting season for one more day as Lamar Jackson is out at quarterback, Tyler Huntley to start. Baltimore, yes, they've won 5 of 6, but Pittsburgh has won 3 of 4, and they have a running game, which hopefully that will continue today. And Kenny Pickett, of course, going to have to make some plays too, but try to be balanced, keep it simple on offense, have some consistency, don't settle for 3 as much as you have recently. No doubt about it, Deontay Johnson, George Pickens, got to get the ball to them more than they have. And Pat Freiermuth, get him the ball as many times as you possibly can. Because damn well it's going to be a catch for at least probably 5, 10, if not more, yards per catch there. So, defensively, they're going to have to stop the run as well. Baltimore getting a few backs back. TJ Watt's been quiet since he returned from injury, but, even with that, Malik Reed really the only one out for the Steelers today on defensive backers. So, Miles Jack stepped up a little bit last week, as did Devin Bush as well, has some stops in the middle. Jack has a ton of tackles, it seems like, every week, but a big play here or there, they're just not making them. Cam Hayward named the Steelers Walter Payton Man of the Year award recipient for 2022. They had a couple turnovers last week off of Atlanta, squeaked out a win. They're winless against the AFC East, but they're 3-0 against the NFC South. They go to Carolina on next Sunday. But you got to take care of business today, especially in division against Baltimore. They're currently right now at 5-7, as mentioned, 1-2 in the division. So take care of business. First time playing the Ravens this year, and like I said, once again, enough said, because it's Steelers-Ravens. Baltimore going to get the ball. So Pittsburgh going to be on defense here first, but something's got to give, long story short, with all that being said. That's why they're going to play the game here. So in the meantime, we're underway. Boswell kicks off left to right, fielded from the 5, and a return, as it would be for a touchback to the 25-yard line. So be 1st and 10 Baltimore with Tyler Huntley at quarterback. From there to begin today's game, Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and we are Penn State, Melanie Collins on the call for today's game on CBS. Also watching Eagles Giants on Fox, as they just kicked off as well. So here we go. We'll see what happens. Offensively, can't settle for 3, but defensively, just, make stops, get the hell off the field. Got to be able to run the football and stop the run. Try to get some turnovers, capitalize off them. Special teams could be a big thing today. We'll see how Boswell is in his return. You know, this was going to be the earliest he was going to return, as they get nothing on the opening play, 2nd and 10, Baltimore. You know, they wouldn't have activated him off IR if they didn't think, you know, he'd be able to kick today. So, especially with having Matthew Wright, who, you know, did a damn good job. So, we'll see how many times they get close, but not close enough, and then have to settle for 3, and then, you know, difference here, difference there, so on and so forth, as always. But that pass incomplete, 10 from Mark Andrews, 3rd and 10, here almost a minute in. So, see if they can get the hell off the field here, and then maybe get some good field position and get the offense rolling, make some noise here today with the 8-ball Kenny Pickett. But, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Just thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to social media links in the description below. 3rd and 10, Baltimore from the 25. Pass going to be caught, but pushed out of bounds by Levi Wallace. He's going to be short. See where they spot it at. He'll be short. 4th and a yard or 2. Baltimore going to punt regardless. Okay. So, 3 and out for the Ravens. And Pittsburgh going to get the ball here. Watch a fake. John Harbaugh, of course, a former special teams coach in Philadelphia under Andy Reid, which ultimately got him the Raven job. And we are Penn State once again, but not today. Jordan Stout on to punt it away for Baltimore. And then Sims from the 22 on the return, no gain. So be 1st and 10 Pittsburgh from there. So it might just be one of those, you know, dogfights, bending but not breaking on defense. You know, explosive play here or there might win the game. I think turnovers and special teams, though. Because normally when these two play, it's always coming down to the wire. Regardless of who's starting quarterback, regardless of who's starting at this position, that position, so on and so forth. You know, still next minute mentality. You're playing for the logo on your helmet and your jersey rather than, you know, the name on the back. Pickett gonna tuck it and run a couple yards there, so 2nd and 6 officially. But yeah, this offensive line gonna have to block for him. And I thought they've done a pretty damn good job this year. You know, at times, yeah, they get in trouble with penalties. But coming off the bye, they found a running game, and they've won 3 of 4. They beat the Saints, coming off a 2-game road trip with back-to-back wins as well against the Colts and Falcons. 2nd and 7 officially after a 3-yard gain. Pickett empty set, going to roll out again out of the gun. He's going to get a 1st down. So 1st and 10 Pittsburgh, and at least offensively, they're able to move the football here, unlike Baltimore. Quick 3 and out, 3 plays, no yards, and a punt. So, yeah. Now, if you can get a running game going with your actual running backs, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, hell, Benny Snell and McFarland recently haven't played that bad either. You know, next minute mentality right there. Get them the ball and just work. So Pickett now going to be under center. They'll work Sims in motion. They'll hand off to double deuce Najee Harris to the 42, 43-yard line. He goes 2nd down once again for Pittsburgh. So just, you know, keep it simple. Work the sticks, you know, get them on their heels. And then that explosive play, beat them deep with some play action. You know, Pickens last week had 1 catch for 2 yards. And it wasn't until late in the game. So, him and Deontay Johnson, yeah, they flip-flop, who is, you know, the number 1 receiver. Even when Claypool was in town, before they traded him to Chicago, you know, it was 1, 2, 3 with those 3 on who the number 1, number 2, number 3 were going to be each week. But you got to get the ball to Pat Freiermuth. Najee there for another 2, 3 yards, 3rd and 4 coming up. See if they can convert on 3rd down. But yeah, maybe go deep here. I'd still work the sticks, try to get the 1st down, and and then go from there. I mean, you're right around midfield, 45-yard line. But you got to get the ball to Pickens more, ease in motion, trips on a bunch near side, Pickett looking to throw, gonna get sacked. Avoids it, actually, and then he does get sacked. Okay, so they'll punt. But, of course, when you get Deontay Johnson the ball, hopefully he moves forward rather than side to side, dances the way around. A little do-si-do, two-stepping the wrong way. But Jalen Warren was in there for pass block, and, well, yeah. That play was dead from the snap, so nothing you can do about that. And good coverage, and he goes down and sacks, so they'll punt also. To begin this game, about 5 minutes in, fielded from the 15 on the return, and then a missed tackle, and then pushed out of bounds. But be 1st and 10 Baltimore. 10:24 to play in this first quarter when we return. The Giants, they punted as well. Eagles 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. So both games here tied at 0. As always, coming at halftime, we'll have first half stats and scores. We'll take a look at what's going on around the league today. Probably give a recap from last week as well, and preview of next week too. And then, we'll go from there. But, yeah, I mean, hell, they moved the ball there, what? A good, probably total of 15 yards, maybe 20 yards before they punt, If they keep giving up sacks like that, it might be a long day, but still, as I've mentioned recently, the past couple games, you talk about, them finally having a running game, which thank God for that, but Pickett still have to make some plays. Yes, okay, he ran it there, got a few yards. Freiermuth arguably is your number 1 receiver at times, but your number 3 as well behind the 2 receivers. But then even somebody behind Deontay Johnson and George Pickens, they still have to step up. Whether that's Steven Sims, who arguably has taken over for Claypool in that role since they traded him, to Gunner, to Miles Boykin. If only crack cold one with Anthony Miller and Calvin Austin were healthy this year, who knows if they'd be doing anything. But, they're not playing, so you don't know. But that's when you get the running game, or the running backs involved in more than just the running game. Get them involved in the pass game with some receptions out of the backfield. And, slow start offensively this year for Mitch Trubisky, Kenny Pickett. And then, as I've mentioned then, it's not going to matter who the hell your quarterback is if you don't have a running game. Which, Pickett's been the starter since about 2 months ago now. Won on the road for the first and second time the past 2 weeks. Has officially now won 4 of his starts and lost 4 of them, I might add, as well. So I'm going to try to break that 500 tie today. They arguably should have a couple more wins, because they've been in a lot of close games, a lot of one-score games. Find a running game, which they have. Find a way to win these close games. Is what I'm saying. They take care of business, maybe get some help later on in the year. They can only afford one more loss for a winning record. Then they'd have to win out. They're 5-7. That 17th game now is what comes into play. Baltimore gets 4 yards on that opening play of this drive, 2nd and 6 now from the 29. But just take care of business. Put your hard hat on. Go to work. Mix himself some defense. Minka was injured there recently. But James Pierre makes a stop. Him and Millette, more than I think anybody else in the back end. Cam Sutton's there, Levi Wallace there as well. even Terrell Edmonds at times and Witherspoon, who's battled injuries this year as well. Those two, when it's not Minka making a play, it's them, and of course T.J. Watt, you know, out for as long as he was, returned to whoever it is. Somebody has to step up the backer still. 3rd and 2, T.J. Watt chase him down, and then Huntley going to dive for the first down, but will he get it is the question. It's going to depend on the spot. And no, he's short. He's about a football short. So 4th and inches. We'll see what Baltimore does here. Offense going to stay out for the time being. John Harbaugh's got his red challenge flag in his right hand. Might be challenging the spot. He challenges. Okay. You very rarely, though, win a spot of the ball challenge. So I'm not going to be surprised they overturn it, but this should probably stand as called, still be 4th and inches. And then, they got a decision to make on if they want to go for it still or punt. Just try to draw them off sides, run a fake punt, boos from the crowd. Baltimore challenging. They'll take a split screen TV timeout here at the commercial. Actually a full one now. We'll get back to the action momentarily, but of course got to find indisputable evidence to return it. Will they have that? Potentially. We'll see what they say. It's close. It's a game of inches. And it looks like a first down at times. It looks like he's short at times. So the thing is, on the field, they called it short, 4th down. Have to find indisputable evidence to return that. We'll see when we come back. But, that's twice for Baltimore. That close of getting a first down before having a punt. Yeah, we'll see what the call on the field is from the Zebras. But surprisingly, no penalties yet. This challenge, so we'll hear from the Whitecapper for the first time today, momentarily. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. There's not really much else to be said. Just defensively, just talking about DBs there. Turnover too with the pressure, from up front. Cam Hayward in the middle. DeMarvin Leal's back from IR as well, I might add. Larry Obi-Wan Kenobi Ogunjobi hasn't played half bad this year. Wormley and Alulu at times, play all right. Adams has made some tackles recently, but T.J. Watt coming off the edge, quiet in his return the past couple games from injury, and rightfully so at times, but they're still all right. Players are, making plays, but still this middle of the defense with these linebackers. Spillane, arguably, as Jack makes a lot of tackles, is your best middle linebacker. And then it's Miles Jack and Devin Bush. Call stands, so Baltimore going to lose a challenge and lose a timeout here. With 2 remaining in the first half, only 1 more challenge the rest of the game. Yeah, like I said, you very rarely win those. He took a chance, lost, and Jack actually on the tackle there. 4th and inches, and in the meantime, the offense is still staying out there. They'll sneak it, and they'll get it. So first down Baltimore, they easily could have done that without challenging it and got it. But they didn't. Now they're down a challenge, so we'll have to see if that comes back into play. But be 1st and 10 Ravens. Now there's a flag on the play, I might add, too. Actually, they pick it up, so no flag on the play. I don't even know what it would have been. It's a quarterback sneak. It's pushing the pile, winning the line of scrimmage, and, trying to get some positive yardage. But no flag on the play. 1st and 10 out of the pistol, handoff, and Highsmith, along with Ogunjobi and Minka. Suplex Gus Edwards back to being on the bench warmers. A yard, 2nd and 9. I'd hope he'd be going back in. I don't even know why he was in the tent. Didn't look like he was injured by any means. I mean, maybe a big hit, landed awkwardly on the sack, but he's fine. He'll play through it. 2nd and 9, pass complete over the middle, and another first down for the Ravens. Minka and Pierre on the tackle. And now the update on the sideline. Kenny Pickett was being evaluated for concussion, but given his helmet back, so he's good to go. He's fine. Of course, just going to have to watch out for that the rest of the way now, I guess. Especially if the Ravens find out about it, which I'm sure they know. Like, they'll bring pressure. They'll try to continue to hit him. And that's why, hopefully, you have a running game. He's not going to have to do everything himself. Hopefully not playing from behind either, because now this defense is giving up some plays. Another first down for Baltimore. Yeah, Bush over there doing nothing, just pushing out of bounds. Being the Bush he is, just, shrubbery covering something up. It's more Sutton and Edmonds on the coverage than it was Devin Bush, but another first down for Baltimore. But Huntley gonna hand off again. Yeah, so it's honestly the run game for both teams. Who's gonna be able to run the ball better? And whoever can is probably gonna win this game. And now we've got an update. It's the Eagle touchdown we just witnessed on Fox. Yeah, 7-0 Philadelphia. We are Penn State again. Miles Sanders from Pittsburgh plays college ball right here in Happy Valley, and now in Philly with the Eagles. That's a Penn State running back game with him and Saquon today, I might add. 2nd and 6 here, Baltimore from the 24. Huntley looking to throw, tipped, and then Edmonds still makes the catch, but incomplete. 3rd down, 3rd and 6. But yeah, Lamar Jackson out with an injury he suffered last week against Denver. Huntley came in. They scored a game-winning touchdown late, won 10-9 against the Broncos. And as Pittsburgh came off a win in Atlanta by 3. First halves have been very similar for the Steelers past 2 games. They're up 16-3 and 16-6 at halftime, but then, got to score late in the 4th to win it. So we'll see, what happens here today. But 3rd and 6, Huntley once again looking to throw. And then incomplete out of bounds. 4th down, and they'll have to kick it, but they have one of the best kickers in the damn league in Justin Tucker. So special teams kick unit will come on for 3. And should be, from the 24-yard line, a 41-yard field goal, give or take. Stout will hold, Tucker to kick. Into the non-river end of Heinz Field. 42-yard field goal officially. Into the hills, and it's up and good. 3-0 Ravens with 4:46 to play in this opening quarter. So 3-0 for them. They punted. 3-0 for Pittsburgh as well. They punted, and the Ravens, most part, just went the distance and then had to settle for 3. So see if Pittsburgh can tie this game up, if not take the lead, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, they said Kenny Pickett was being evaluated for concussion. He should be all right. He's tough, so good fun running game though for him. If you can run the ball like you have the past couple games with Najee and Jalen Warren, and maybe even one of the other backs behind them, get them touches. As I was saying earlier about the screen game, Fryermuth down the middle, but yeah, no doubt about it. Got to get Johnson and Pickens the ball a little bit more too. Just as long as his offensive line can block, they should be all right. They just, they can't settle for 3 all the damn time. They got to score touchdowns today, especially against Baltimore. As good as they are on defense, Pittsburgh cracked down early and then, Breck there gave up 3. Whereas, Pittsburgh hasn't had the ball twice yet, but you get my point. Or at least the trend that it might be going. So, we'll see what happens, but got to score touchdowns today rather than have to settle for 3. There's nothing else to be said about it. There's not. There's no other way to put it. You got to get in the end zone, okay? That's why it's there. And that's why it's 6 points rather than 3, kicking the field goal. You got to score touchdowns today if you want to beat the Ravens. And then, if you're in a position late, maybe then it's another big defensive stand that wins them the game of some sorts. Who knows? I mean, this game's going to come down to the wire, though, unless, Pittsburgh can't get going offensively and then Baltimore starts to put it to them, because Pittsburgh has gotten blown out a couple times already this year, as well, I might add. Even though those games were held a lot closer than the final score showed, thing or two here or there goes their way, it might be a different story, or at least a hell of a lot closer. But, I mean, I'm not necessarily saying they're looking like a totally different team coming off the bye week, but they're finding ways to win these close games, which they couldn't do, early on. Once again, they probably should have a couple more wins than they do right now at 5 and 7. And they'd most certainly be deeper in the hunt than they are, because they're right now like the last team in that hunt. And if they lose one of their next, 4 games after today, they're for sure done. It's a losing season, no playoffs, so on and so forth. They can only afford one more loss, but if they can take care of business, maybe get some help, maybe you get that winning record, maybe you miss out on the playoffs, but still don't have a losing season since 03, but maybe you sneak into the playoffs like you did last year. That's why they play the games, inside on paper, inside on the field. Nobody's giving them a chance. So go out and shut everybody the hell up and, prove them wrong. And it starts up front. You got to be able to run the football, and they will. Kenny Pickett hands off Najee Harris. 4 or 5 yards for him to the 29, 30-yard line. It's the second on a medium here for Pittsburgh. But just keep it simple. And, Pickett, once again, concussion protocol, but he's out there. Run the damn ball. And then, as you were able to run the ball, pretty good there on the opening drive. Yeah, they tried to throw good coverage. You had to tuck it and run, but beat them deep with some play action. Najee Harris for another 2 yards, so 3rd and 3. See if Jalen Warren comes in for a 3rd down back. Got another update. And Texans, Cowboys, 7-7. So 3-0 here, Baltimore on top of Pittsburgh. The first update, which is the other game we're watching on Fox right now, was Eagles, Giants at 7-0 Philadelphia. And then Texans, Cowboys down in Lone State, tied at 7. 3rd and 4 officially for Pittsburgh here. Kenny Pickett gonna roll out and step up, and it's batted down, incomplete. Intended for Jalen Warren, it looked like. So incomplete, 4th down. Got a flag on the play. See what that dirty laundry is. And Pittsburgh's coming off, so it's on the offense. Holding 10 yards, they'll decline it. 4th down, Pittsburgh's still going to punt. Yeah, all right. So 3 and out. 2 punts. And Baltimore's up 3, so 3:25 to play in the first. Pittsburgh will punt from the 31. Presley Harvin in his blue suede shoes. Booms it away, and not that good of a punt, actually. Going to take a bad bounce back to the wrong side of the 50 for the Steelers. in Pittsburgh territory for Baltimore at the 48-yard line. So, a 17-yard punt. Jesus fucking Christ. They rely on this damn defense way too damn much. They do. They always have. They got to bring the steel curtain down, though, especially against Baltimore today. So I said they got to at least win one of these Ravens games, if not both. Maybe get hot here. Maybe not necessarily win out, but they can only afford one more loss once again for a winning record. So that's what I said last week. What do you want more? Winning record compared to a losing season, or to make the playoffs? Well, you're going to have a winning record to make the playoffs in the AFC. So they're going to have to at least get to 9-8 anyway. 5-7. They finished at 10-7. I'd be shocked. I would. But it's doable with how the schedule, sort of is in their favor. They're a 1.5 point favorite, I might add, today as well. And that's for the most part basically because Lamar Jackson is out. So it's basically a pick 'em. And talked about special teams, early potentially being a difference of some sorts. Pittsburgh still has a running game, which, okay, slow and steady. Baltimore also has a running game, though, too. So, I said, whoever's going to have the better running game is probably going to win this game now. I guess they're going to have to stop it. But, yeah, defense going to get to the field now, especially after Baker Mayfield new number punt. We'll talk about that coming up halftime. But still early. Thing is, still a lot of football left. So special teams and turnovers, as they show us some old highlights throughout the 56 all-time meetings with these two, from Cleveland to Baltimore, and of course Pittsburgh, always being in Pittsburgh as the Steelers. And the Steelers have won 4 straight, 8 of 11, and lead the all-time series as well. But it's actually the first Steeler-Raven game since 2003 that Ben Roethlisberger wasn't on the roster, which is hard to believe. Oh, God. J.K. Dobbins off to the races inside the 20. Minka going to push him out of the 5. All right. First and goal for Baltimore. I saw that a lot on Saturdays in the fall the past couple years. Don't need to be seeing it on Sundays as well, but he's back from injury. A simple handoff, hit the hole and went, and then cut it far side, and it looked like he was going to score, but they pushed him out the 5-yard line. So Baltimore is probably going to be up here at least 10-0 in a couple seconds. They can punch this in. Another handoff, Dobbins, and hell, one play later, touchdown Baltimore. So 2-play touchdown drive after a bad punt by Pittsburgh. They go 48 yards and 2 plays, 6-7 points later, 9, make it 10-0 with the Tucker extra point going to be up and good. You'd have to think because he's one of the best kickers in the league. Already made a 42-yard field goal of extra points from 33. So, as we near the end of the first quarter here, Pittsburgh put themselves in a hole because offensively, they've been able to move the ball a little bit, but their defense making stops, getting off the field more than Pittsburgh has. And Pittsburgh now defensively can't stop the damn run. So, extra point will be up and good. It's 10-0 Ravens with 2:31 to play in the first quarter. So, whoever's going to have the better running game today is going to win this game, and Baltimore by far leads that category right now after those 2 runs and a touchdown run, I might add. So 10-0. It's either Pittsburgh, this is out to a lead and then hold on to it, or they're coming from behind and If there's time on their side, maybe it's enough, but might not be. But there's still a lot of football left, so I'm not, saying this is over just yet. But they just got to get something going. They got to find some rhythm. They got to sync up, put it all together. They haven't thrown the ball more than fucking a yard downfield, though, today. So open it up. Take some shots. Like, it's not that hard. I can't say it enough. And the boos are already ringing down. Especially after that bad punt. And then the defense out there again because the offense, not having the ball that long. Recently, they've been able to run the football. They've been able to control the clock. What aren't they doing today and what Baltimore is doing? Exactly that. So, yeah, they just got to get rolling here. And if they can just cut this lead, just give themselves a chance. That's all I'm asking. They'll be all right. They take care of business still, One play, one drive, one game at a time. Probably most part going to have to take this game deep into the fourth, as it would be going anyway. It's going to come down to the wire. But then, this crowd, damn well will be in it anyway. So, yeah, bad special teams. Mistake there with the short punt. Defense can't get off the field. Give a big run and then another play later, touchdown. Could come back to bite them. But, Baltimore the lead, especially on the road. If they can run the ball, they're going to begin with. And if they can, why would you want to, get away from it? You'd want to keep running the football. They're one of the best, running teams in the league, for God's sakes, as well. So, Pittsburgh for sure needs a fucking kickstart. So maybe a Steven Sims kickoff return here for good yardage out past the 30, 35, 36, 7-yard line. All right, I'll take it. Be 1st and 10 Pittsburgh from there. So their best starting field position, even though they've been in this territory, before they've had to punt already. Oh, God. Mitch Trubisky in at quarterback for Pittsburgh. And here we go again. You most definitely going to have a running game now. And you can't turn the ball over. So, Pittsburgh, fair warning, it might get ugly. 1st and 10, Trubisky rolls out. Oh, God. It's caught and dropped by Zach Gentry at the first down marker, incomplete, on a simple rollout. Yeah, Trubisky started the first 4 games, might add, and then got benched against the Jets at halftime. They should have still won that game. They should have beat the Browns the week prior and the Patriots the week before that. But they didn't. They lost. Lost the Bills the following week as well. But then Pickett got his first career win in the start against Brady and the Bucs. Even though he was injured, Trubisky, came in and finished the job, and they found a way to win. So handoff there, be 3rd and 8 for Pittsburgh. Go deep. Take a shot. That pass that was incomplete to Zach Gentry at the first down marker is the furthest you've thrown the ball today. 10 yards marker. Come on now. I get you're trying to establish your running game, and you have it, but Baltimore has a better running game. So you got to try to figure out, weave in and out here or there to, beat them differently now. You still want to change your game plan. You still want to do what you're doing. 3rd and 8, Trubisky going to air it out. It's caught, first down, Pittsburgh. Pat Freiermuth out past midfield. So now get back to the run game. Balance and consistency. Run to pass, pass to run. Keep them on their heels. You just cut this lead. And if you can score before the end of the quarter as well, minute and a half. Okay, that'd be good. Or at least early second quarter and get the ball back again probably mid-second, right before halftime, you get off the field, not giving up anything, you're in a good spot, But right now you're not, so you got to find a way out of the hole that you dug yourself. From the 49, they'll fake it to Jalen Warren. Trubisky going to go deep down the far side, and he has him in, and it's caught at the 10. And George Pickens, normally it would be the Pickett to Pickens connection, but Trubisky, hell, even when he was starting, he wasn't throwing to George Pickens. Now he has had a catch for 2 yards last week, has a catch for a good 40 yards there, and Pittsburgh's got a 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Actually inside the 10, down at the 7, looking to punch this in now, real quick. Run a draw. And now they'll fake it, run a fade, which I hate. Incomplete, intended for Pickens. Well, they get the flag. All right, a DPI. Be half the distance normally in this situation, but since the foul occurred in the end zone, it'll be spotted at the 1 yard line. Pittsburgh have a 1st and goal at the 1. They huddle up. What's the call? Pass interference on Baltimore. 1st and goal, Pittsburgh at the 1. Punch it in. Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, sneak it if you want. You got to punch it in for 6. No damn field goal. Score a touchdown. Clock should run, so they're probably not going to have to snap it here until the end of the quarter now. Or no, penalty clock stops. My bad. 1st and goal from the 1. Trubisky under center. Derek Watt and Connor Hayward, your tight ends. They'll hand off to Najee Harris. He dives and he gets in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Just like that. Even without Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky comes in. They drive with their best starting field position today. About 65 yards. And it was the Trubisky pass to Pickens on the far side. As I said, take a fucking shot. They do. They execute it. Get a PI a play or two later. Run it in from a yard out. Touchdown, Steelers. So here comes Boswell for the first time since week 7 for an extra point, let alone a field goal, as he's been on IR. And Boswell's extra point up and good. 10-7 with 13 seconds to play in the opening quarter. So hopefully Kenny Pickett's all right, but hey, if you got to run with Trubisky, fine by me. As long as you're scoring points, not going backwards, and, not doing anything wrong, run with it, Run until the fucking wheels fall off. So Najee got a little lucky there. They didn't punch that ball out on the dive, because that easily could have been a fumble, but they could also said that, he would have, crossed the goal line there, so to speak, in the end zone for 6, touchdown before the ball came out, if it would have, which it didn't, but touchdown Steelers, they'll kick off. Now this defense has to feed off this. They can't, be out there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes at a time, giving up points. They got to get the hell off the field now. And this offense has to get the ball back, and they got to keep it on as they just did there and drove and scored a touchdown. So return from the goal line. And then return about the 23-yard line. They'll have to snap it once here with 8 seconds to play in the quarter. They still lead by 3 as they did it 3-0 and then scored, of course, last time they had the ball with a big run, 10-0, but then the Steelers respond just like that, touchdown, so 10-7. Yeah, Baltimore here, they'll run the ball. Huntley, unless he has to make a play, they're not going to have him, do a hell of a lot, even though he can if need be. The former Ute from Salt Lake City dumps it off, and they get a first down. So that'll do it for the first quarter. It's 10-7 Ravens. And still 7-0 Eagles at the Giants. First quarter stats. Huntley to Pickett, now Trubisky. So keep it simple, run the football. We got Tyler Huntley officially 4-7, 52 yards passing. Dobbins has 56 yards rushing on 5 carries and a touchdown, but 44 of those came on one run. So other than that, as Gus Edwards has 2 carries, 6 yards, and Huntley 2 of 3. You know, one big play there. Other than that, really not have a running game though. Neither is Pittsburgh though. Najee Harris, he has a rushing touchdown as well. 6 of 14, so more carries, less yards, but 6. Pickett 2 of 16, so yeah, that could be a difference. That, you know, I mean, Trubisky can tuck it and run if need be, but, you know, Pickett 2 carries, 16 yards. Out with an injury. Now, I'd like to know when that would have happened, though, with him getting hurt. If it was on the sack, just one of those runs he took, you know, just got his bell rung. Obviously, he's out for right now, and if you're concussion protocol in the first quarter, you're probably not coming back. So, yeah, they'll just have to roll with the punches and back to not being able to catch a break. But you play on. Huntley has mentioned 4-7, 52 yards passing. 43 of those yards are to Demarcus Robinson. And then Deshaun Jackson has a catch for 9 yards. Pickett was 0 of 1, you know. So he's not going to have a stat line today in passing if he doesn't return, and 2 of 16 on the ground for him. But Trubisky was 2 of 3, 56 yards passing, with 42 of those yards to George Pickens on one catch, and then Freiermuth 1 of 14, and then Najee Harris 6 of 14. It was on the sack. He got sort of spun around and hit the back of his head. And then he was like wobbly getting up. Kenny Pickett out for the rest of the game in concussion protocol. So there's that. So just hopefully nothing happens to Trubisky, because Mason Rudolph ain't fucking dressed. So who's the backup to the backup? Who's the emergency quarterback is the question. Probably be fucking Zach Gentry, because he played quarterback at Michigan. Might run some Wildcat with Najee. Get the ball to Pickens in space, potentially. But 1st and 10 from the 40, handoff, Gus Edwards, and another first down for Baltimore out past midfield. So, yeah, Pittsburgh can't stop the damn run now. What's new? Exactly. Because the Steelers can't stop it. Slow start. They're going to have to come back, which they just did on that last drive. But that's one drive. And one drive, unless it's late and it's the game-winning drive, or unless it sparks something, ain't going to mean shit if they don't do anything when they get the ball back. So, yeah, no Lamar Jackson starting today. Kenny Pickett injured earlier. So, yeah, Huntley gets sacked back at midfield. Tyson Alualu along with Chris Wormley. All right. We talked about them a little bit ago. Hey, at some points in times, yes, they do make plays. Big sack there, no doubt about it. 2nd and long now. But, yeah, we're to Tyler Huntley and Mitch Trubisky. You know, so trying to think when the hell the last time, somebody not named Ben Roethlisberger, let alone, Kyle Bullard, Steve Air McNair, to Flacco, even Lamar Jackson. And you can throw in Dennis Dixon and Charlie Batch and Rudolph as well, even probably Landry Jones for that matter. What the fuck is that? Search Giants punt. You'll know what I'm talking about. Trouble with the snap, bobbled it, and then here's a replay. Big third down, 3rd and 5 for Baltimore. Huntley gonna roll out, tuck it and run, and no. He's short. He's a yard short. No, they want the ball to spot it. He's gonna be short. Another 4th and inches. Minka with the big hit out of bounds. He's a good yard short. Short of the line to gain. Be 4th and 1 for Baltimore. They're going to line up to go for it again here. We'll see if they actually do go for it though or not. Yeah, that's a good yard. Kenyon Drake, former Dolphin in the backfield. 4th and 1. They're just trying to draw him off sides. Probably take a delay game, if not call a timeout. No, they will hand off. Fake the end around. Trouble with the snap. And then Huntley falls down. They sack him. Turnover on downs. Pittsburgh getting the ball back. So this defense making him stop. Now run the damn ball. Trubisky, don't throw it unless you need to. Well, he had trouble with the snap from the center to begin with. Had weather this morning, but it's died off since, so, field's fine. Looks as good as it has since early in the year, because Pitt, their regular season is done with. They'll play UCLA in the Sun Bowl. But yeah, trouble with the snap, fake the end around, it wasn't there, fumbled that, and then Trubisky fakes the give, gonna throw, gonna step up, dumps it off Deontay Johnson and makes the most of it. Gets about 8, maybe 9 yards, be 2nd and short. All right, you keep this up. Run the ball. Yeah, Zach Gentry's your emergency quarterback. I thought so. Thank you. I already broke the fucking news 5 minutes ago. But 2nd and 2. Sims in motion. They hand off Najee Harris. 1st down, run out past midfield. Another Steeler 1st down. Maybe take a shot. Why the hell not at this point? I mean, you got all the momentum back on your side now. 10.5 to play in the first half here. 1st and 10. Gunner in motion. They hand off to Najee again. To the 40 he goes. Be 2nd and short again. So just keep it up. Keep it simple. Keep working the sticks. But, yeah, they've found a running game since the bye week, which thank God for that. Because if they don't have that today, Trubisky doing it all himself, as he had to do early in the year because they didn't have a running game then. As I said, regardless of who's going to play quarterback, Trubisky to Pickett, back to Trubisky because of the injury. You got to have a running game. If you don't have a running game, you don't have nothing. They're really working this motion. Some eye candy. But then a yard on the handoffs, 3rd and 1. They'll give us another update. I mean, shit, these couple updates we've had in the first half today are probably as many as we've had throughout every game all year to this point, for God's sakes. They very rarely give us studio updates anymore. They'll just show the scores on the bottom ticker. That was back to the Texan-Cowboy game, 14-10 Cowboys. Third and 1 for Ironmouth in motion. Under center Trubisky, they'll fake the give on a fullback dive rollout. Screen complete to Najee Harris, first down Steelers. Get back to the run game. Maybe go down the middle of the field a little bit for Ironmouth. Even Deontay Johnson, George Pickens for that matter. Just keep moving the football forward rather than backwards, let alone side to side. So just keep it up. Keep going. Now, we'll hit the reset button here in a second and get back to what I was talking about there a minute ago, which really, it doesn't matter. But 1st and 10. Yeah, Benny Snell in the ball game. They'll hand off to him, and then gets about 2, maybe 3 yards. Yeah, looked like he was going to slip and slide and fall down, but had to wait for the block to open up a little bit as his blocker actually fell down himself. So maybe the turf is a bit of a problem right now with it, That's an offside encroachment jump causing the offensive line to false start. Chuk 76 at right tackle. It's 5 yards, first down. Pittsburgh. Thank you. Offside on Baltimore. Actually, still second down because it was 2nd and 7, so make it 2nd and 2. Or 2nd and... They only gave Benny Snell a yard. He got like 2, maybe 3 yards. So 5-yard penalty after 2nd and 9. Yeah, make it 2nd and 4 then. Another handoff to Snell. And he'll get 2. So 3rd and 2. Get the first down. And then go from there. Snell going to come out. So the question is it Najee or third down back and Jalen Warren? It's Najee Harris, and he'll motion out. So an empty set. And they jumped off sides again, causing Pittsburgh to false start. So first down Steelers. That's a first down for the Steelers. Thank you. Offsides. 5 yards, automatic first down. So rather than 3rd and 2, it's 1st and 10. Now put them in their place and run the ball down their damn throat. Punch this fucker in for 6. Maybe take a shot. Beat him with a pass here. Go to Freiermuth down the middle of the field is what you need to do if you're throwing the ball. Especially in this situation, right on the cusp of the red zone. So Trubisky under center. Sims in motion. Right at the 20. 1st and 10. Handoff. Najee Harris for 3. Make it 2nd and 17. But just punch this in. I mean, even if to settle for 3, tie it up at 10, okay. But I'd like to punch this in for 6 and take a lead. You have them right where you want them at now. You have all the momentum on your side. And something clicked when Pickett went down and Trubisky came in. And they've been able to execute pass over the middle. Oh, motherfucker. It's picked off. Intended for Sims. And now they can't tackle him on the return. They finally do. Deontay Johnson brings him down. Jesus Christ. They weren't getting too full of themselves, but... And it actually wasn't that bad of a pass. Freiermuth was there. It looked like it was intended for 88, Pat. Sims was coming over the middle, but then they just jumped the route. He didn't even see him. And it was picked off. And I can already hear people saying, well, Pickett wouldn't have done that. He might have, he might not have. We're not going to know because he's not playing right now, okay? You play with who you have. Because Trubisky, even early on in the season, wasn't playing half bad. They just needed to find a running game for him. They couldn't make the switch. Pickett hasn't played bad, but they've been able to run the ball, as mentioned earlier, 10 times better than they have all year coming off the bye week now, the past month. And now, dealt the hand you're dealt, find a way out of it by running the football, and they throw it there. It's picked off, and now this defense is going to make a shot. That one's going to sting because they're in field goal range too. And if they don't settle, can't punch it in, got to settle for 3. Okay, but oh man, bad punt on special teams and the turnover in the red zone. Said earlier, special teams and turnovers, man. Motherfucker. So there's that. Defense is going to have to make a play now. And TJ Watt, real quiet since he's returned. He's really going to have to step up now today. And if it ain't him, okay, Highsmith coming off the edge, but even when TJ was out, he was leading the league in sacks at a point in time, but wasn't doing a hell of a lot. And even since TJ's returned, he hasn't done much. He has, but he hasn't. If you know, you know from watching. But as I said, too, I mean, it's 10-7, but, if Baltimore can run the football, they're going to run the ball. So you're going to have to get in there and punch it out, and, maybe it's up front, Cam Hayward, and then in the back end, Millette and Pierre, okay, played bad all year, but Minka, more than anybody, you're going to have to make a play or two. DeMonte KZ as well. Can't forget about him. But just, that's a frustrating interception for sure. So this defense is going to have to make some plays. And it starts up front, yes, but these middle linebackers, they have not done shit all season long. Miles Jack, once again, has a bunch of tackles all the time, but, from Spillane to Bush, Malik Reed's out, so not him, but yeah, it was intended for Freiermuth over the middle. They just jumped the route, even though Sims was there too. It probably would have been caught, and it's a 1st and goal. But then they jumped the route and it was picked off, and then they couldn't, bring them down right away. They got some decent field position. And 3 yards there from the 32 now make it 2nd and 7 for the Ravens. 3.107 lead, dump off. And then Big Bob Robert Spillane makes the hit on JK. No gain on the play, 3rd and 7. So just as long as they get the hell off the field here, they still got 4.5 to play in the half, 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Get the ball back here. Tie it. Take your lead like you're going to, hopefully there before you throw the pick anyway. Do that. Score again before halftime. Get the ball, I might add, to begin the second half as well. So put the pressure on them, not yourself. That's what they're doing right now. 3rd and 7, play clock at 1. They get it off. Huntley pump fakes. That's a fucking hold. And then a pass complete down the far side. First down, Baltimore. Make it 1st and 10. Some trash talk. So might get chippy, but it's Steelers-Ravens, so what's new? Handoff, J.K. Dobbins, and then gang tackle with Levi Wallace and T.J. Watt. Flag on the play. Should have had a hold on the fucking first down pass. On the Ravens, though, not the Steeler defense like that's called. Holding on the Steeler D, and it's an automatic first down for the Ravens. So, yeah, just shoot yourselves in the foot some more while you're at it. Son of a bitch. Just like that, they're deep in Steeler territory at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10. And they have a lead, and they're going to run the ball. Now they'll throw. Huntley, that's a fucking hold. Throw the flag. Oh my fucking God. And then he gets pushed out of bounds after a 9-yard gain. Good God. They're throwing the flags, call it down the middle. Another damn update. Browns, Bengals. They played on Halloween on Monday Night Football. Browns with a big blowout win at home. Cincinnati up right now 7-0. So yeah, 2 divisional games in the AFC North today. Ravens, Steelers, Browns, Bengals. Pittsburgh's got to take care of business now. 2nd and 1, handoff, first down. It's like all the momentum they had, and now this defense can't get off the field, was literally popped and has disappeared with that INT. Now it's back to when they were giving up the field goal, giving up the touchdown, down 10-0. 2 minutes to play in the first half, it's 10-7 Ravens, and they're knocking on the door looking to score some more before halftime. So Pittsburgh now, even with the timeouts, might not even get the ball back here before half if Baltimore, works it the right way and works some clock and can score with, next to nothing left, and, Pittsburgh then can't do anything and they get the ball to begin the second half, but then you're in a deeper hole, back to down 10 or touchdown game. Man, that was a big pick. Yeah, that one's frustrating right now. But what can you do? Defensively, they just got to get the hell off the field. But they're at least going to give up a field goal here, unless he misses it or it's blocked. That's what. Just keep him out of the end zone. Just keep yourself in it. Don't. Unless you can get turnover yourself off of them and those cancel each other out then. Just keep giving yourself a chance. Yeah, all the momentum they had is gone. So they're going to need another spark. And if they start slow the second half, I mean, you got to run with Trubisky at quarterback. Pickett's out. Zach Gentry's your emergency quarterback. That's why you got to be able to run the football and stop the run. They're able to run the ball, all right. Once again today. It's not as good as it's been. They're still able to run the ball. Pretty good. They can't stop it, though, defensively. They can't. But credit to Baltimore. Just as long as this defense can get off the field. But if they can't, seemingly just going to be playing from behind, playing catch-up here today at Heinz Field, Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh. So I'll leave it at that. No, but what I was saying earlier, honestly, when was the last time with these two quarterbacks, Mitch Trubisky and not Jalen Warren, maybe get him the ball. Yeah, maybe he's a difference maker. Bulldoze his way down the field. Maybe run a two running back set. But Tyler Huntley with Mitch Trubisky. Two quarterbacks, that normally don't start in this game. 1st and 10, he's looking to throw. Dump off Kenyon Drake for a yard. Miles Jack and Devin Bush push him out. That they are the starting quarterbacks in this game, whether they started or, midway through. Because it's been a while. At least, normally it would have been Ben or Flacco, or if one was playing, okay, maybe, or at least if one wasn't playing, the other one was. But then even Lamar Jackson to Roethlisberger. If one wasn't playing, the other was. As I said, you got to go back to 2003, the last time Roethlisberger wasn't on the active roster for this game. Which, same can be said for the Bengals and the Browns games, too. They split with Cincy, lost to the Browns on a Thursday night in September, playing Week 18. First meeting with the Ravens today, and Baltimore's got a big 3rd and 7. Minute 16 to play in the half. What the fuck is that? Oh my God. Special teams having a day today. That pass incomplete, 4th down. So they'll have to settle for 3. So Pittsburgh will get off the field. They'll get the ball back with about a minute, a little less. Just depends on how much time comes off with this kick and then the kickoff return. Well, hey, I just saw a pigeon fly across the screen. The Pigeons are back. And they might have just jinxed Justin Tucker. He hasn't missed a field goal here in Pittsburgh since his rookie year. He's made 24 straight. This from 35. Kicks up. And good. So, all right. Didn't work there, but 13-7 with a minute 3 to play in the half. Pittsburgh getting the ball back. Down 6. 3 timeouts. Use sideline. At least cut this lead. Do something. Score before halftime here. Score early 3rd quarter. Whole new ball game. Simple as that, right? We'll see. No, but yeah, it's been a while since for this matchup to have, 2 quarterbacks like this playing. Long story short with that. No, but as we had a 42-yard and now a 35-yard field goal made by Justin Tucker in this game. Of course, both kickers, Boswell and him, good from extra point as well. Steelers with a bad punt. 2 plays later, the Ravens scored, went up 10-0. Steelers responded. Pickett's out. And then the interception. It's 13-7 Ravens. This Eagle-Giant game, talk about special teams there. 21-0, by the way, for anyone interested. Philadelphia. But their punter is now currently injured. He's going to go into the tent, but we're going to back it up even before what just happened. But as mentioned, yeah, special teams having a day for all the wrong reasons. The Giant punter punted, but had trouble with the snap. As he was about ready to kick it, he dropped it. And sort of surprised they didn't, throw a flag on it for the hell of it, but they didn't. But it's not a penalty, though. he sort of double kicked it. And then it only went a good, probably 20 yards. The weather is an issue with the rain in this game, I might add. Oh shit, their punter's going into the locker room on the cart now. Because Eagle punter, they just punted. Their punt was blocked. And it went maybe a yard. At the goal line, I might add. They were punting from the end zone. And then the punter actually picked it up and ran. And it was about a yard short then of the first down. But as he got hit, he got hurt. So that's why he's getting carted off. The Giants literally just scored, so make it 21-7. As Christmas carols hopefully will give Pittsburgh an edge with the one pigeon we've seen here mid-December. The Pigeons are back for the first time since about a month ago with the Saint game, because they weren't around for the Bengal game. And they've been on the road the past 2 weeks. So the Pigeons are back. Pittsburgh here with a 1 o'clock kick. Got a 1st and 10 down 6 at the 25-yard line after a touchback. Got 3 timeouts. Trubisky's pass complete for 12 yards. Deontay Johnson, first down, Steelers. Under a minute to play here, 52 seconds and counting. Still got 3 timeouts. Gotta go. Got all damn day. Let's go. Come on. Just wasted fucking 10 seconds. 1st and 10. Deep ball, near side. Complete. Deontay Johnson, or George Pickens, this time. Completed the 40-yard line. And I believe he gets out of bounds, so clock will stop for a second. Now if they call timeout, they still got 2 left. But 1st and 10. And that's the catch. It's a catch all right. 1st down Steelers. And they're knocking on the door now. From the 39-yard line, just on the outside of field goal range. But Boswell still has a leg on him, so we're going to count him out. That pass is caught. Gunnar Olszewski. Be 2nd down and 3, and they'll call timeout 31 seconds. So they get 7 yards there to the 32. From here, if they don't get anything, you're looking at a 50-yard field goal, give or take. I'd like to punch this in for 6 if you can, no doubt about it. But I can probably almost guarantee you they're probably going to sell for 3 here. How many times this year, terrible question because it's a lot, have they had to settle for 3 right before halftime? But then they have a spark, have momentum again going into half, get the ball to begin the 3rd quarter, and then score again. It's a whole new ballgame. We'll tie it up at 13, take a lead then, finally, for the first time then today at 17-13. Or, something along those lines. It'd have to be 17-13, but, yeah. It's there for the taking, so see if they can grab the bull by horns here or not. But I would say with 2 timeouts, 31 seconds to potentially run the ball here on 2nd and 3, because maybe you break through, but you probably do end up throwing. This is perfect position for Pat Freiermuth. They wanted to go to him on the last drive here in the spot in the red zone, and then he threw the pick. Just whatever you do, exactly. Don't turn the ball over, okay? They've gone to 3 different receivers the past 3 plays, from Deontay Johnson to George Pickens to Gunnar Olszewski. Maybe Steven Sims is next. Maybe they get the backs involved in the screen game here. Maybe it's a quarterback draw. For all we know, if he has to tuck it and run if nobody's open. Just get the hell out of bounds. Even if you've got 2 timeouts, you still want to try to get out of bounds if you can. Stop the clock. Talk about Zach Gentry being the third string quarterback right now. Emergency QB with Pickett out and Rudolph not dressed and Trubisky now your starter. Maybe him. Connor Hayward had a touchdown in this situation last week at Atlanta against his dad's old team. So, 32-yard line, 2nd and 3 for Pittsburgh. Trubisky's pass complete. Pat Freiermuth down inside the 25 to 23, first down. Timeout, 26 seconds. And then keep that third and final one in your back pocket if you need it. Timeout, Steelers. They'll have 1 left. 1st and 10. 26 seconds from the 23-yard line. Yeah, take a shot potentially. You don't want to turn the ball over. Whatever you do not turn the ball over. Even if you do get tackled in bounds, you got that timeout. You could call it if you'd want, but you'd still want to try to hold on to it. That's why you'd have to get up and clock it, spike it. Potentially, you got a new set of downs now, 1st and 10. So, let's see if they draw up here. Bet you any money it's going to be a screen. Or if they get down to the goal line, they'll run their damn end around. They do. 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Actually, an empty set. 5 wide from the 23-yard line, so he will be trying to throw down the middle of the field. God damn it. 10 for Freiermuth down the middle of the field again. Another fucking interception. Motherfucker. Another red zone turnover, too. That's at least 6, max of 14 points off the board right now for the Steelers. You gotta be fucking kidding me. I'd be doing the same damn thing and throwing Freiermuth down the middle because I say it all the damn time. And you can tell Freiermuth's frustrated. He's probably thinking the same thing. Everybody's thinking that. Well, Pickett probably want to throw him that pick once again. Trubisky does. Ravens going to take a knee. So 13-7 your halftime score. The good thing about that is, okay, the first INT was only 3 points. The second INT, nothing, because they take a knee and we hit halftime. And the Steelers are getting the ball to begin the third quarter. So you're back to square one. You're still down 6 at 13-7 here. As both teams will hit the locker room. But the thing about that is, Pickett's hurt. He's out. And he ain't coming back today. Okay? Can't be turning the ball over regardless of who your quarterback is. No doubt about it. But that one's even more frustrating now. Because they had some momentum again. But poof. Pixie dust. It's gone. Son of a bitch. 13-7 halftime. When they arguably, could be up 8. Let alone tied at 13 or anywhere in between. But they're down 6 still because they got a big old goose egg with nothing. Because of 2 interceptions. And the other thing is, I might add too, people are going to give him shit for throwing the 2 picks. And rightfully so, okay? You can't be turning the ball over in the red zone. I don't care who the hell you are. But then if Pickett throws those 2 picks in the red zone, crickets. You're not going to hear a fucking peep from anybody. Okay? It's just how it is. It ain't right, but it's just how it is. But rightfully so, though, too. You still can't be, throwing interceptions in the red zone. I don't care who you are. He knows that. Like, okay, Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And that's where they are right now with that. Looked like the same fucking play call. At least it was a pass over the middle of the tight end and Pat Fryermuth. And DB obviously did his homework this week and jumped her out again and picked them off again. So points off the board is what's hurting the Steelers right now. Even with, still not being able to stop Baltimore, they've still given themselves chances to score some more points. But then, get in the red zone and nothing. It's like at that point, watch, they'll get scared. They won't throw in the red zone the rest of the fucking way, and they'll settle for 3. And then it'll come down to the wire, as it will anyway. I mean, they're taking they're aggressive. They're taking some shots. They are. The more you throw it, the more better chance it's gonna get picked off. With those 2 picks, though, you'd think he'd be able to see them, but even the best quarterback on the best team is still gonna fuck up every once in a while. So they're gonna show some highlights of all these 1:00 games. Got a 1-score game here, low-scoring 1-score game up in upstate Western New York in Orchard Park in Buffalo. 6-0 Bills. So they scored, but then they missed the extra point, I guess. And it's snowing again. And the Bills are playing at home for the first time since they lost to the Vikings in the snow in overtime last month, because then they were supposed to host the Browns, but remember that game got moved to Detroit because of the 6.5 feet of snow they got. And then they played at the Lions on Thanksgiving, and then they played at the Patriots last Thursday and back home here. I'll show off some more highlights, of course. Ravens Steelers 13-7. There's the other AFC North game with Browns Bengals 7-3. We had an update of the Bengal touchdown, and then here's the other games we haven't seen anything on yet. We'll get into these in a minute, but got a blowout for the most part. Eagles beating up on the Giants 24-7. Yeah, Pittsburgh, man. Keep running the ball offensively, yeah. Just keep doing what you're doing, because they're right there. They fucked up when they couldn't have fucked up. There's no other way around it. They turned the ball over when they couldn't, and they did. So, yeah, 13-7 your halftime score. But so I think if they don't get scared in the red zone and keep doing what they're doing, they're gonna have to run the ball a little bit more, I think, though, too, and have it be a little bit more consistent. And then this defense, get the hell off the field. And just as Baltimore's got a few turnovers off of you got to get a few turnovers off of them. And then you got to be able to capitalize off of them. 2 turnovers to 3 points, though, for the Ravens. Pittsburgh sort of lucks out in that situation. They do. The bad punt led to the touchdown, yes. And say if that punt's good, they don't have good field. I mean, yeah, he probably breaks that long run as he did, because he did. They don't score. Pittsburgh's leading this game right now by a point at 7-6 at halftime. Okay? They got to keep doing what they're doing, keep pushing. But when they have momentum, they got to try to hold on to it, because they've had momentum, and then the 2 interceptions, it's gone. Just like that. So, exactly. Can't turn the ball over. And Trubisky's going to have to make some plays, yes. I mean, other than the picks, he ain't looking half bad. But it's the run game. Keep it up. Stop the run. get the hell off the field on defense. Boswell has an extra point. They've gotten field goal range, okay, looking to score touchdowns, but they don't score touchdowns because they turn the ball over, so they don't even have a chance to kick a field goal then. Special teams still, along with turnovers, looking like the difference in this game, as I thought it would be at the start. And the refs are letting them play. We barely had any penalties, okay? But they got to get pressure, and they got to force turnovers themselves. It's not like, Trubisky's picks were off of pressure. I mean, they were. The offensive line's done a pretty damn good job, though. Baltimore lucked out after, remember, they had a couple offsides, and then the first interception. The DB jumped the route, just like the second pick there. That's what they've left points off the board. As Fox also goes to halftime, Eagles up 24-7 on the Giants, so they'll run highlights as well. We'll update some first half stats and scores here in a minute, but for the first time since it was either right before or right after the bye week, because I know the past 3 games they've been up at half, and they're 2-1 in those 3 games. 1-3 of 4. I'm trying to remember the Saint game if they're up at halftime. Doesn't really matter, but they trail at halftime by 6 when they arguably right now should be at least tied, let alone have a 1-score lead like Baltimore does, but they don't. So they just, third time might be a charm with getting a spark, some momentum, and then capitalizing off of it. Because they've had it, and it's gone with the interception. They've had it again, and gone again with the interception. So, just frustrating. I mean, you're right there, and then throw the pick. But at least, they sort of got off the field, only giving up 3 points off of those interceptions. So, might come back to hurt Baltimore with not doing more off of them. Because, they go to halftime with the kneel down and then only get a field goal. So, there's not really much else to be said. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts and opinions. And thanks for tuning in and listening. But I'll leave it at that. It's 13-7 at halftime with the Ravens up on black and gold. So, as always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Quinn Luke 96. Thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below, the thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Ravens, hashtag Steelers, hashtag BAL for Baltimore versus PIT for Pittsburgh. Chat questions and comments, super chat, super sticker, super like, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. Kenny Pickett injured, out for the rest of the game with a concussion. In concussion protocol was 0 of 1 passing because they didn't start throwing the ball until Trubisky came in. Pickett 2 of 16 on the ground though, rushing as Pittsburgh 7 points came off a 1-yard rushing touchdown from Najee Harris. But Tyler Huntley is 7 of 11, even though Sheets is better for 78 yards passing. They've only sacked him once, back around midfield. And then Baltimore's had a lot of 4th and shorts. And remember, they'll only have 1 challenge the rest of the way because they used one, didn't win it, so they lose it. They still went for it and got the first down, so that sort of doesn't make any sense for them. But they'll have 1 challenge the rest of the way. Both teams, of course, 3 timeouts in the second half. But got to bring more pressure, force mistakes, and then they got to stop the run. Dobbins has a 44-yard run, and then he punched it in from a yard out for a touchdown. Another play later, 7 carries for 65 yards rushing for him. So dial that 765. Of course, touchdown for him as well. But Gus Edwards, 5 of 34. Huntley, 8 of 28. They have a running game now, for sure. 20 carries, 127 yards rushing as a team, and a touchdown. And then they have 2 field goals. 3 of those off the interception. Another 3 on their second drive after they went 3-and-out to begin the game. So Pittsburgh still has them right where they want them at. They do. They got to punch it in for 6. Can't settle for 3, let alone turn the ball over now in the red zone like they have. So Demarcus Robinson, same stat as he had last time I read this off. 3 catches, 43 yards receiving for him. Deshaun Jackson, 2 of 34. So cover those 2 guys. Mark Andrews, nothing. Pat Frymuth intended to him officially on targets 4 times. Has 2 catches, 23 yards, but then the 2 interceptions. Trubisky, 8 of 11, 123 yards passing, and the 2 picks. That very well could have been touchdown drives, let alone field goal drives. Instead of down 6, you're tied at 13 or up 8, 21-13, or anywhere in between as mentioned, but you're down 6. And at least they'll get the ball here to begin the second half, but they just got to keep doing what they're doing, run the ball, stop the run, don't turn the ball over. Plain and simple. Turn the ball over a couple more times. Whether they get anything off of it or not, you still don't have anything then, and this game's over. Okay? Najee Harris, 10 carries, 32 yards rushing, and the touchdown. Pickens, 2 catches, 67 yards. Fryermuth, 2 of 23. They're trying to get him the ball more. Baltimore's just, playing damn good defense. You got to give him credit. Deontay Johnson, 2 of 19. And then Minka has 5 tackles. Miles Jack has a tackle for loss. And Chris Wormley and Tyson Lulu credit for half a sack apiece for the 1 sack on Tyler Huntley. And if they have to punt, they got to pin them deep, play field position, because Presley Harvin's 2 punts for 63 yards aren't averaging out that good. Because, 1 was for fucking 17 yards, so there's that. But touchback on the second half kick. Be first and 10, Pittsburgh from the 25-yard line, right to left. Crouch television screen, ready and all down. Once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. As always, I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports. Go ahead and Luke96. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Thumbs up button. Share hashtag NFL, hashtag Ravens, hashtag Steelers. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, super likes, super thanks. Always greatly appreciated as well. Both teams averaging about 6 yards a play. Pittsburgh with the run game that, they still have, but it ain't as good as Baltimore's. They're not controlling the clock as much as they have, the past couple games. They'll hand off to Najee Harris there. No gain on the play, second down and 10. So the turnovers right now are the difference. The rest are letting them play. 4 total penalties with 3 of those against the Ravens. Both quarterbacks only sacked once. But other than that, it's pretty split. I mean, for, drives to first downs, I mentioned yards per play. Pittsburgh's 50% on converting on third down, I might add. 2 of 4 compared to Baltimore at 1 of 6. So, second and 10, Trubisky's pass complete. Sims to the 31-yard line. So, speaking of Pittsburgh having a third down, they got a 3rd and 4 coming up here. So, we'll see if they can convert here to begin the second half. But, yeah, that's where we sit at. From a punt to another punt, and then the touchdown with the momentum. And then even more momentum, but then you turn it over. And then you somehow get momentum back and you turn it over again, and then it's halftime. So, just can't turn the ball over, man. Plain and simple. Cannot turn the ball over and expect to win. 3rd and 4 from the 31. Empty set. Trubisky on a throw. And it'll be caught. First down, Deontay Johnson. Now run the football. But surprised they still haven't run no damn screens today. I am. And don't get scared. Keep being aggressive down the middle of the field. He just got to make some better reads. First and 10 from the 45. And And they'll hand off Jalen Warren. He'll bulldoze his way for 4 yards. 2nd down and 9. I said 2nd down and 9. I meant 2nd down and 7. 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7. As we're about to begin the second half with the Eagles and Giants as well. 24-7 Philadelphia. Yep. Well, when they verse each other this season, yeah. Especially for Pittsburgh. A lot of one-score games. Trubisky going to throw, complete, go the forward, Deontay Johnson. Oh, my God. Should have been a 4-yard reception. It only goes for a yard because he came back and danced around. Well, he bobbled it on the catch. And then, no, let's go inside where everybody is compared to go outside, even though the sideline's there. I'll get pushed out of bounds. Maybe I'll at least get something, but no, I'll go inside and get a yard. 3rd and 6. $18 million a year, my ass. 3rd and 6. Trubisky gonna run around and gonna heave it, and it'll be caught, but short. Sims for maybe 2-3 yards. 4th and 2, 4th and short. You're gonna go for it? No, you punt. You play field position. You punt and beat. You get off the field on defense, get the ball back with good field, and yeah. It's early 3rd quarter. You're only down 6. It's not like you're down 30. No, not after that play. Not from midfield. If they're at the 40, I'd say maybe. But from the 47, almost 50-yard line, no. Harvin punts. Hopefully he can pin him deep here. And, God damn it, he goes in the end zone for a touchback. So, what, a 27-yard punt there? Good God. Be 1st and 10 after the touchback at the 20. 10:49 to play in the 3rd quarter. Ravens getting the ball back. Still up 6. It is 13-7. Around the league right now. As yesterday in college football, we had one game. Army beat Navy in the first ever overtime game in series history. As the game actually went to double overtime. 20-17, and then Navy, breaking news about 45 minutes or so ago now, Navy has fired head coach Ken Niumatalolo, so you can add Navy to the current openings in college football for the coaching carousel. So we'll see who takes over that job among all the others that are currently still open. But in the NFL right now, as we just begin the 3rd quarter here with the Ravens and Steelers, and about to begin the second half with Eagles and Giants, everything else is still at halftime. So this is the first game that's into the 3rd quarter, and probably going to be the first game that's done and over with today, I have to think. Unless, one of the others, gets sped up in the 3rd and 4th quarter in the second half. Have a 24-7 lead for the Eagles at the Giants, as mentioned. And then a 13-3 lead for the Bengals at home against the Browns. But then everything else is one score. Bills lead the Jets at half, 7-0. Texans are on top of the Dallas Cowboys, 20-17. Lions leading Minnesota, 14-7. Jaguars up at Tennessee, 20-14. And then here we sit at 13-7. With Baltimore getting the ball back 1st and 10 to 20 after the Steelers punt to begin the second half. Still to come today in the NFL as the Falcons, Bears, Packers, Colts, Saints, and the Washington Redskins football team Commanders are all on bye weeks. This week, we got the Chiefs and Broncos, along with the Panthers and Seahawks, Buccaneers, 49ers at 4 o'clock, and then Sunday football, Dolphins, Chargers, Monday Night Football tomorrow night, Patriots, Cardinals, and after being down 16-3 against the Raiders, the Rams came back and won with a game-winning touchdown, 17-16, with the former Brown and Panther quarterback himself making himself a new home out in Southern California in Baker Mayfield. On 2 days' notice after he was released by Carolina on Monday, claimed off waivers by the Rams on Tuesday, didn't start on Thursday night, but threw for over 200 yards and had a game-winning touchdown and drove 98 yards with a minute and a half to play, needing a touchdown to win with no timeouts. And with about 10 seconds left, they scored and won the game. So Rams beat the Raiders on Thursday night 17-16. Mark Andrews with the reception there, 1st and 10 Baltimore. 9.5 now to play in this third quarter, so under 10. Pittsburgh defensively, man, got to get the hell off the field. Can't say it enough. Out of the pistol, they'll hand off again. Gus Edwards to midfield. T.J. Watt brings him down. So, 2nd and 6. Exactly. Stop the run, get the hell off the field, and offensively, still got to run the ball themselves and score touchdowns. Can't turn the ball over. Like, there's nothing else to be said. Second and 5 from midfield. Out of the pistol again. Another handoff. Gus Edwards for 2. So 3rd and 3. But big third down here, no doubt about it. Big 3rd and 3. Pittsburgh in a 3-4. Big hit by Minka. And, oh, come on. Fuck you. That's fucking shoulder to helmet. That's not head-to-head helmet. That is not targeting my fucking ass. And then he just got, corkscrewed around. Accidentally might have kicked him. There's a flag on the play. No flag for unnecessary roughness. They pick it up, thank God. 4th down, Baltimore going to punt. 4th and short. Devin Bush going to walk off after being injured. Mink with a big hit. Cam Hayward pushing and shoving with Highsmith. Come on, Pittsburgh. Need a big punt return now. So they pick up the flag as it was nothing. It's 4th and 1. Yeah, that's just a big clean hit. And the "Here we go Steelers" chant kicks in. That's what they got to feed off of this crowd. They got to run the ball and score some fucking points. Touchdowns, not field goals. Can't turn the damn ball over in the red zone again. Baltimore going to punt. Sims from the 12 signals fair catch. Be 1st and 10 Pittsburgh from there. 7:18 to play in the third quarter. 13-7 your score. So No, they threw the flag. It wasn't late, but it wasn't right away. Okay? It seemed like they, with the big hit, were looking to see if he was going to get up. And then he got up right as the flag was thrown. So big hit, okay. There's that, but knowing situationally the circumstances, was looking for a call on a big hit. It was what it seemed like, at least. Good acting job, if you will. But they picked up the flag anyway. It would have been an automatic first down for sure, regardless if it was going to be 4th and short or not with a big hit. But they pick it up because it was shoulder to helmet, and then he got thrown around on the tackle as they brought him down. And they can't say tripping or kicking or anything like that because it's just, that was a good call. Like, they just let it play out. Like, it's all accidental. It's not flagrant by any means. So another 4th and short for Baltimore. They punt. Pittsburgh gonna have to go ways here. But it's really starting to get chippy now. But what's new? It's Steelers-Ravens. Like, it's smash mouth football. It's like, give me your best shot, and I'm going to give you my best shot. And we're going to fucking punch each other in the face back and forth until somebody falls down. Okay? And even when we do fall down, we're going to get back up. So, just hopefully the Steelers here, no turnovers, man, on offense. Run the ball. Need a big play, no doubt about it. Need a spark again. Need more momentum. But then with that momentum, once again, you just can't let it slip. You got to score with it. Now, whether that's a field goal or a touchdown right now, I'll take either or. I'd settle for 3 if they have to settle for 3 right now. Get this game in the 4th quarter. Rather than down 6, I'd rather be down 3, But I'd also like to have a 1-point lead. So take what you can get. 1st and 10, they'll hand off. Najee Harris for a yard. Yeah, they're trying to stop the run now, and rightfully so. Trubisky's going to have to make some fucking plays. Hasn't looked that bad today. It's just the interceptions in the red zone that have killed him. And even with those 2 passes that were picked off, both were intended for Pat Freiermuth, I'd still go back to his ass because damn well he's going to catch it. But at receiver, more than anybody, I'm getting the ball George Pickens. Sims in motion. 2nd and 9. Trubisky going to fake the give. And then far side complete to Sims. 1st down, Pittsburgh. Antoine Randall Ellen it up out there for Pittsburgh Steelers 1st down. And Johnson, he was open for a second over the middle. Zach Gentry was coming on the other crosser. And so if they're running those double crossers over the middle, which they just did. Sims was open far side. You'd think they'd be having somebody go fucking deep, too. Or at least come back, potentially on a comeback, or if they're going to check down on a screen of some sorts. Trubisky going to avoid a sack, roll out, and then dumps it off. Complete, big hit. Najee Harris right at the 1st down marker. 1st down Steelers again. So, just keep it up. Fight through all this adversity. Just keep it up. Yeah, he should have been sacked right there. And then right there again. And then he rolled out, and he wanted to go deep, it felt like, and then he checked it down. And then a big hit, and good no call on the flag, and 1st down Steelers again. 1st and 10 at the 33. So they've gone 20 yards. 21 yards make it. See if they can cash in. Complete to Sims again. Another Steeler 1st down. So keep getting him the ball, yes, but just as much as getting him the ball, they're going to start covering his ass, which is going to lead somebody else to get open. Sims will come out. Yeah, he's played well since they got rid of Claypool for sure. Looks like they're going old school up front with their okay. Hand off Jalen Warren. I was going to say, because it looked like all the damn receivers were on the sideline other than Deontay Johnson. But Gunner was in there in the slot. Worked him in motion. They hand off Jalen Warren. So, I mean, fuck, they have 3 tight ends. Give them the ball. Tyler Huntley going into the locker room. Second and 11, Trubisky's pass complete. Deontay Johnson again breaks a tackle, gets out of bounds with another Pittsburgh Steeler. Move the sticks. First down. They're moving the ball forward rather than backward or side to side. Run the ball. Work some clock. Tyler Huntley into the locker room. If he's out, it looks like it's going to be Anthony Brown, the former quarterback from Oregon and Boston College. First and 10 from the 46. Trubisky fakes the give, going to go deep. And god damn it, it's picked off again in the end zone. You gotta be kidding me. Third interception with 3:03 to play in the third. You got to be kidding me. I don't mind going deep. You just got to execute it. In a double coverage, Deontay Johnson's a couple steps behind. Another touchback, Baltimore ball, first and 10 to the 20. 3 turnovers inside the 20 now for the Steelers offensively. I mean, that's a max of 21 points. And you're up 2 scores right now. And the pressure's on them to come back. Even with a minimum of 9 points or anywhere in between, you still got a fucking lead. Or at least tied with them right now. You have to settle for 3 if you don't turn the damn ball over. But no. Interception, interception, interception. Can't turn the ball over. Simple as that. But what do? Turn the ball over. The good thing with, once again, that interception, even though it's an interception, there's nothing good about it. Baltimore in the first 2 only got 3 points off with it. Honestly, they can't give up anything with this pick. Give up a field goal, they're down 2 scores at 9. Give up a touchdown, they're down 2 scores at, 13-14. Into the fourth quarter, and 3 drives they've turned it over on, they could have points in. Time ain't going to be on their side. But with all that being said, the only good thing about this interception is Baltimore right now is going to be without Tyler Huntley, quarterback. Into the locker room, unless he's coming back out right now. They'll be with Anthony Brown, it looks like, at QB. So pressure to a turnover. Maybe they get good field, if they can get the ball back quick. Maybe even get a turnover of some sort or a defensive touchdown. Now's the time this defense really needs to step up and make a play. You got to feel bad for them because they're out there how damn much, because the offense, they've been able to move the ball, but they've turned the ball over 3 damn times. So I said, also got to get turnovers off of them because they've gotten turnovers off of you. So, frustrating. No doubt about it. Very frustrating. 3 interceptions. That could have been points. But with 3:03 to play in the third, Pittsburgh still trails by 6, 13-7. It'll be Baltimore ball, 1st and 10 at the 20 with the touchback. Oh, they're reviewing it. Okay, they're reviewing the interception. It's a catch and a pick, but where the ball is going to be spotted. So, what, either inside the 1 or at the 20-yard line? This would be big for Pittsburgh if, as a call on the field, is a touchback after the pick, if it's going to be spotted at the 1. Stands is called, so 1st and 10, Baltimore at the 20. Or we'll be at the 1. So the call on the field wasn't a touchback then. The call on the field was he was at the 1, inside the 1 actually. So the call on the field stands. And now this is even bigger for the Steelers. Now this defense with a 3rd-string quarterback for the Ravens and Anthony Brown in at QB, you got to make a play. Pressure to turnover. Be 1st and 10 Ravens from the 1-yard line. Under center. Andrews in motion, and they'll run the ball. Actually fake it. Almost sack him. He dumps it off, and about 2, maybe 3 yards on the reception. Just don't allow them to drive 99 and score. Whatever you do. They almost got to him. They did. They almost got to him. So 2nd and 8, 2nd and 7 here for Baltimore. Out of the pistol. And they'll hand off. Oh, my God. Fucking tackle him. Cam Hayward at the 15 brings down J.K. Dobbins. OHIO for both of them. Yeah, Baltimore got a 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line now. Son of a bitch. Yeah, throwing it from the 1-yard line. They almost get to him, they hand off, and then they get a 1st down. So stop the run. Even with a 3rd-string quarterback, they're going to run the ball. So stop the run. And pressure to him. Make him make a mistake. And Huntley's in concussion protocol now, too. They do. Oh, fumble. He might have been down to begin with, and then the Ravens might have recovered. They got a pile, and they're looking at it. Yeah. What are they going to call? Joint possession, so Baltimore will maintain possession because they had the ball. Even though Baltimore has it there, but Pittsburgh had it too. Boos from the crowd. Here's a replay. That's out. That's a fumble. Wormley with the punch out, and then TJ Watt had it, and then he might have had a left hand on it there. That ball's out. That's a fumble. And then they say joint possession, which when was the last time, if ever, you heard that? But because of that, the team that had the ball keeps it. So 2nd and 9. Now feed off of this and get another turnover off them. Don't give up a big play. They go deep, and miscommunication, it's incomplete. 3rd down and 9. Wormley injured. Tyler Huntley's questionable to return with a concussion. So, I mean, it'll be Anthony Brown and Mitch Trubisky the rest of the way, it looks like. Yeah, Wormley's injured. Left knee. He was the one who punched the fumble out. They take a break. Now they just got to get the hell off the field on defense here. Big 3rd and 9 coming up, for sure. And we just saw the miscommunication. I mean, if they have somebody back deep, or at least run the ball, if, make a play on it in time, pick it off. I mean, if I'm Baltimore 3rd and 9 here, I'm probably going to play it safe and run the ball, see if they can stop it. And then if you have to punt, you have to punt. You still got a 6-point lead, and then if you give up the score on defense, then you might be in trouble because Pittsburgh then would have the momentum in the 4th quarter. And then hopefully the Steelers can run the football and work some clock. The Steelers right now can't allow this game to get away from them. They can't allow Baltimore to run the ball and run the clock out on them in this 4th quarter coming up. Still about a minute to play in the 3rd, but just stop the run. Get a turnover if you can. They're so close on that. And then joint possession. Like I said, honestly, when the hell was the last time they said joint possession for a fumble? I can't remember, and I watch a ton of football, okay? College and NFL for that matter. Like, you very rarely hear joint possession. But it's how the rule is stated and how it's read is how they're supposed to call it. It'd be like if it's a fumble out of bounds, it's the team that touched it last, gets possession. Joint possession, it's whoever has the ball is going to maintain possession, which Baltimore does there. So, special teams and turnovers, the story of today's game for the Steelers. But a big 3rd and 9 coming up. From the 17-yard line. Anthony Brown gets sacked. T.J. Watt. And Baltimore will punt. Since he's returned. Yeah. So I said he's had a quiet 4 games since he's been back from injury since the bye a month ago. He was injured week 1. Tore his pec, got his knee scoped then while he was out. 4, make it 5 games today. Takes him down with a sack, and now this offense has to do something off of that. They almost blocked the punt, flag on the field, and then Sims to the 47. It came from the back end on the punt, even though I doubt they would have ran or roughed into him. I don't know what the hell, unless he might have ran out of bounds on the return. What's this flag going to be? During the kick, got a hold on the Steelers' return. On James Pierre. Be 10 yards from the end of the run, first down, back at the 40. 21 seconds played in the 3rd, not in the game. Still got a full quarter. I'll take a split-screen commercial. But Pittsburgh, down 6, 13-7. They turned the ball over 3 times in the red zone. They just sacked Anthony Brown. So, Brown couldn't get anything done for them there. But hopefully they'll be able to do something here offensively now. 21 seconds, 3rd quarter, 1st and 10. After the penalty on the punt return, I'm running the ball. Looks like T.J. Watt got a fresh haircut with a buzz. So, to infinity and beyond, maybe they can come back and win this game. But that's a stat line for you. Trubisky has 4 incompletions, 3 of them picks, and they're all in Baltimore territory inside the 20. Only has 1 drop pass today. That pass is going to be caught. They do throw here at the end of the quarter. George Pickens for 10 yards and a Steeler first down. So they get the penalty yardage back. basically on the hold. And that should do it for the third quarter. Yep. So, be 1st and 10, down 6, 13-7 here to begin the fourth. And Pittsburgh can come back and win this. Be 6-7. Baltimore will fall to 8-5. Cincinnati's going to beat Cleveland. It looks like they'd get to 9-4, being first in the division. And then beating Cleveland, who's also 5-7 right now, as Steelers are too. Be 5-8. Pittsburgh could be in sole third possession in the division, still continue to take care of business. Be all right. Potentially get some help then too. Let alone being tied in last at 5-8 with the Browns if they lose. But what's going to do them in is the wild card, with being swept by the AFC East potentially. So even if they do all of this, and win these games, they still might be on the outside looking in and not make the playoffs, but then they get a winning record and a winning season, and still haven't had one of those in almost 20 years, dating back to 2003. So, 13-7. We'll see what happens here in this fourth quarter, in this game and the other game and all these other games. But at the end of the third quarter, begin the fourth here, it's 13-7. Still for the Ravens on top of the Steelers. Huntley now with an injury as well. They said questionable to return. Anthony Brown officially 1 of 2 for 3 yards on the opening play of that drive from the 1-yard line. But Huntley right now going to probably finish 8 of 12, 88 yards. Brown 1 of 2, 3 yards. Dobbins almost has 100 yards to his credit on the ground, rushing 10 of 91 and a touchdown. Of course, half of those was on one run, but Gus Edwards has 7 carries, 40 yards rushing. And then Trubisky, 17 of 21, 4 incompletions, 3 of those interceptions, so only 1 true drop, as mentioned. 200 yards on the dot passing. Najee Harris only has 12 carries, 33 yards rushing, and a touchdown. Pickens, 3 of 78. Deontay Johnson, 5 of 45. Sims, a couple big catches there recently, 430 for him. Pat Freiermuth, 2 of 23. Maybe get him the ball here a little bit in this fourth quarter. Of course, don't turn the ball over, whatever the hell you do. Like to run the football, though, here probably a little bit. Work some clock if you can. They do run an end around to Sims for a yard, so 2nd and 9 to begin the fourth quarter now. 13-7 Ravens, if you're just not tuning in. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. They give them 2 yards officially, make it 2nd and 8. Trubisky, complete, 42-yard line, gunner, and then they punch it out, fumble. So Baltimore was going to say incomplete, but then they were going to say catch and a fumble, but then they rolled incomplete to begin with, 3rd and 8. Yeah, it might have hit the turf. Oh, shit, he had Freiermuth on a in and out. Well, he was down the whole entire time. He never had control of possession, though. Baltimore could challenge if they'd won. Remember, they still got one challenge. Lost their first. 3rd and 8. Got to get it off. That's almost a delay of game. All right. 3rd and 8 from the 44. Dump off on a screen. Complete to Jalen Warren. And Jalen Warren going to get a Steeler first down inside the 45 down to the 42. Bulldoze in his way. Now if they can turn on the Jets with somebody. Hey, simple dump off, and then he makes 3 guys miss, and then he finally gets brought down. Run the damn ball. Rock the Naj. They're going to keep Jalen Warren in. I don't mind it. Because, as mentioned this time a couple weeks ago, until he got hurt, he was deserving of getting more carries, more touches. You know, he gets a toss there near side and almost 8-yard run, 2nd and short for Pittsburgh. And a late whistle with a flag. Some pushing and shoving. The refs are going to huddle up, and we'll see what they call. Might have offsetting penalties, to be honest with you. After the play, got a personal foul on the Ravens, on Marcus Peters. So 15 yards, automatic first down, and John Harbaugh has nothing to say. Yeah, Chuk sort of chest bumped him out of bounds, but then they always get whoever retaliates. And that was that, and 15 yards on my first time. I'll take the penalty. Now you just got to do something off of it. Punch this in for 6. Because you definitely got to score now. I mean, you can still kick a field goal if you need to. You're in the red zone, though. Don't turn it over. 1st and 10 from the 19. Trubisky pump fakes, dumps it off on a screen. Jalen Warren going to find his footing and then get 2 yards. So 2nd and 8 from the 17. But yeah, don't turn it over here. But even if you would have to settle over 3, defense get a stop for you as long as you don't give up a touchdown. You need a, you'd be down 10. You need to get the ball back again. If you give a field goal, you still need a touchdown to win it. But then if you don't give up anything, field goal would tie if you'd have to settle for 3 right here. But you'd like a touchdown right now. So, that adds up. I think that all makes sense, right? 2nd and 8 from the 17. Trips in a bunch, top of your screen. Mitch Trubisky out of the gun, going to step up. And then he goes down the sack back to the 22-yard line. So 3rd and long. Son of a bitch. Oh, he had Sims coming over the middle of the end zone. Be 3rd and 13. $11:30 and counting to play. Quick game. Very quick game. Play clock at 3, 2, 1. Get it off. They call timeout. Got to burn a timeout because they're not ready. So we'll see if that 3rd timeout is going to come back and bite them or not. So timeout, 3rd and 13, 11:24 to play. Down 6, 13-7. Exactly. Don't turn it over. Yeah. Your defense has held the Ravens to 244 yards of offense, and the Ravens are now dealing with an undrafted rookie quarterback who's got no NFL playing experience because of the injuries. 3rd and 13 from the 22. Trubisky going to go deep in the end zone. A little too much, intended for Deontay Johnson, incomplete. All right. At least they didn't turn the ball over. Here comes Boswell for a field goal from about 39, 40 yards. Yeah, and if they don't go deep, he has Sims on in and out far side. And Maybe he dives, after a catch and run, and maybe he's in for 6. 40-yard field goal from Chris Boswell here to cut the lead to 3 with 11:19 to play. Kicks up. God damn it, it's fucking blocked. No good. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That's 4 trips in the red zone and nothing, with 3 turnovers and now a missed field goal. Yeah, they blocked it. So they're still down 6. So they're going to have to get the ball back and have to score a touchdown still. Talk about not being able to catch a break at all. We've been deadlocked 13-7 since 5 years ago, it feels like. Man, that's frustrating. That's a gut punch is all that is. Edge of your seat, hopes up, and then just, all right, back down to earth we go. Nothing to show for. This defense, you got to feel for them, no doubt about it. They rely on too damn much. They need a big defensive stop. They need like a turnover on D is what they need. More like a defense touchdown, for that matter. Like, where's the Minka almost pick 6 from last week at right now? That's what they need. Especially against Anthony Brown, who, once again, yes, undrafted rookie quarterback, plays college ball at Oregon and Boston College, as mentioned. And he's not that bad from what I can recall seeing him play. Just tough spot right now. Against a good defense who, at times, yes, gives up, some big plays. That's what they can't do. They can't give up a big play. They can't give up a touchdown, let alone a field goal. Okay? If they had a field goal there, but it was blocked, it'd be okay to give up a field goal, but then you still need a touchdown. You'd still want to give up nothing, no doubt about it, but you can't give up anything right now. You got to get the hell off the field, so they better be cranking some renegade right now. This defense has to get a stop. They got to feed off this crowd, and just whatever you do, don't give them the big play, because they're going to be looking for the dagger. They are. So there it is. Q sticks. Terrible towels in the air, and yeah. 4 trips in the red zone and nothing, with 3 turnovers and a blocked field goal. 1st and 10, Ravens from the 30. Starts with stopping the run, but just overall make stops, get the hell off the field, and don't give up the big play. Like, don't give up a big run. Don't give up a big pass if they run and then they give them the chance to throw it deep. Like, I want to be shocked if they would go for a home run here, just to shut everybody up. So 2nd and 5 from the 35. Handoff. J.K. Dobbins dives for the first down, and going to be about a football short, it looks like, 3rd inches. Unless they give him the first down there. So as he hits the 100-yard mark, it'll officially be 3rd and 1, and they'll run a fullback dive, and they'll get the first down. So 1st and 10, Baltimore, and now with a 6-point lead as they've had, and especially being on the road with that lead and being able to run the football, Why would you want to do anything else? Baltimore is going to continue to run the football. They're going to try to work as much clock as they can. And they're going to have... Pittsburgh's going to have to get stopped. They're telling Pittsburgh, hey, you want the ball back, stop us. Brown looking to throw over the middle, tipped, almost picked off by DeMonte KZ. Off the deflection, incomplete. 2nd and 10. Oh my God. Just a fingertip short. Oh my God. 2nd and 10. Come on, D. Brown looking to throw again. It's caught. Pushed out of bounds by Levi Wallace. Be 3rd and medium. So 3rd and 4. They'll give us an update again. Browns cut it to 10, 20 to 10. They near the end of the 3rd quarter. Deshaun Watson with a passing touchdown for the first time in a long time. If the Steelers lose, the Browns need to lose too. Just as long as the Browns don't win and the Steelers lose. 3rd and 4, they get a first down. Minka on the tackle, bringing down Mark Andrews, but yeah. The Browns need to lose regardless. But if the Browns lose and Steelers lose, they'll stay at 5 and 8, but then both can only afford one more loss and they still got to play each other, so there's that. And then, Pittsburgh wins, Cleveland loses, they're in 3rd place basically. You just as long as Cleveland doesn't come back and win and the Steelers lose, because then they'd be in sole last place. 1st and 10 from the 46. Dobbins, first down run. Minka on a tackle again. Down to the 32, and guess what? They're in field goal range. So now they're running the ball. They're working clock. Field goal range go up 2 scores at 9. That was a big run right there. They got to get a turnover, man. They got to get the hell off the field. Because even if they get the ball back down 9, down 13, time ain't going to be on their side. That might have been the run right there. This game might be over. They're going to run the ball and work as much clock as they can. If they just need to kick a field goal, they'll kick a field goal. Yeah, exactly. 1st and 10 from the 33. Handoff. Another run by Dobbins. Casey on the tackle. And 2nd and 3. So, son of a bitch. 4 fucking drives in the red zone. And no points. 3 turnovers on blocked field goal. They had that field goal. It's a little bit of a different story right now. They can give up a field goal, but not a touchdown. And then time might still be there. But 6.5 to play. Here we go again. We've seen this how many times this year. The clock's going to just run out on them. They can't get a stop. They can't stop the run. 2nd and 4 from the 26. Out of the eye. Brown going to hand off. Edwards first down inside the 20. They score a touchdown. This game's for sure over. Unless they can score, get the ball back, and score again real quick. Which I highly doubt that'll happen because, you don't want to count them out. I've seen crazier shit happen, but what have they done to say they can do that? Nothing, exactly. So, son of a bitch. 5:38 to play from the 19 out of the pistol again. Guess what? They're going to run it. And somehow breaks a tackle. Still loses a yard, but should have been 2nd and longer than what it's going to be at 2nd and 11. But they're not going to have to stop it now until About 5:50 to play, give or take. Or 4:50 to play. Excuse me, under 5 to play. Pittsburgh and Baltimore have had 23 games decided by 7 points or less over the past 15 years. And they play each other at least twice a year. And they play us a time or two, too. So, yeah, they snapped the 4:51, second and 11. Edwards on the run. Nope. Got another yard or two after the original takedown. So now they're not going to have to snap it until about 4:06, give or take, to play. Big 3rd and 4 here. But then give up a field goal. Well, you're still down 2 scores at 9. And that blocked field goal going to be crucial. And then turn the ball over 3 times also in the red zone. The difference, I mean. As long as they would have scored on one of those, if not 2 of those 4 drives. 3rd and 4, handoff again. They make the tackle. Maybe you want to call, well, you're going to have 2 timeouts. You probably want to just drain it and get it back with 3.5 because they'll kick the field goal here. You're still going to be down 9 unless he misses. That's what they're going to hope for, that they block it themselves or, he misses. He's made 25 straight in Pittsburgh against the Steelers as Justin Tucker. So he's already 2-2 today. 3rd time might be the charm to miss. But 30-yard field goal to go up 9 with about 3:20 to play. And the kick's up and the kick's good. So 16-7 with 3:19 to play. Steelers got 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. And they're down 2 scores, down 9. They're going to have to score. Hope to get the ball back and score again, and it's got to be quick. Yeah, that blocked field goal biting them. Because then if they'd have that, which Boswell's, damn near perfect, all the damn time, too, but it was blocked up front. It wasn't like he missed it. It got blocked, line of scrimmage. They made a good play on it. So there's that. Then the 3 turnovers in the red zone. That hurts. That sucks, too. But if they have that field goal, if they still turn the ball over 3 times as they did, have that field goal, they're down 6 right now because they give the field goal. And then a touchdown wins it. 2 timeouts, 3:19 to play, 2-minute warning. Like, that's an eternity. But now you're down 9. It shows you what one play can do. You're down 9, 3:19 to play, 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. You got to score, get the ball back, and score again. Hope to, at least. And it's got to be quick. And that ain't that much time because it's going to go by like that. So, yeah, Trubisky's going to have to make some plays here, but guess what's probably going to happen? I don't want to say it, but he's already thrown 3 interceptions. Like, he'll probably get sacked or they won't convert on 4th down or he'll throw another interception, for God's sakes. And then people are going to be bitching. But what can you do? Pick it. It wasn't like he got benched, he got hurt, Both quarterbacks in concussion protocol today. So obviously somebody up above, seeing something they don't like with them wobbling around after a big hit and no, you're not playing, you're out. It's like, I get it's not 19 whatever anymore, but it's still, come on, man. If they're good enough to play, let them fucking play. But they don't want to, further any more injury. It's all about fucking safety nowadays, which I can understand to a point. But then at the same point in time, you better be ready if somebody goes down. That's what next man up mentality. Like, that's why you have to clear on the roster and you believe in who you have, hopefully. As they show the cars coming out of the tunnel into the city. Yep. 3:19 to play, down 9 now. Got 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning, but you got to score, get the ball back, score again. It's got to be quick. No turnovers. Touchback, 1st and 10, Steelers from the 25. Yep. First and 10 from the 25, empty set, Trubisky. Out of the gun looking to throw, incomplete, 10 for Frymouth. 2nd and 10. Second and 10, gonna go deep far side, complete, Deontay Johnson. Deep into Raven territory, all right. And then got a flag on the play for roughing the passer. 15 yards, automatic first down, so they should be right around the red zone, if not in it. So 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. Oh, he had Connor Hayward coming over the middle too. I'd be looking for him because they're going to be covering Frymouth. Even Zach Gentry for that matter. Where the hell's George Pickens gone though? So 1st and 10, Pittsburgh. We'll see where they spot it. Be ball at the 23-yard line. 3:08 to play. Still got 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Be nice to score right here. Over the middle, caught Connor Hayward at the 9. Got a 1st and goal. Under 3. You got to score here. And then, well, hell, you could give them the ball back. You got to get a stop, though. They go, hurry up here. We'll get to that in a minute. 1st and goal from the 10. Far side, incomplete. 10 for Najee Harris. 2nd and goal from the 10, 2:39 to play. Still got 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. Down 9. You got to score twice to win it, but no. If they'd score here, remember they got the 2 timeouts, 2-minute warning. They'd have to get a stop defensively. They could still kick it deep, give them the ball back, and then get the ball back down. Well, they need a field goal to win it with no timeouts and under 2 to play. So 2nd and goal from the 10. Trubisky in the end zone, a little too much intended for Deontay Johnson. And a flag on the play. And it'll be a defensive hold, pass interference in the end zone. The ball should be spotted at the 1-yard line. And since it occurred in the end zone, it'll be spotted at the 1. If it's a PI, it's a hold, it's 10 yards. But it'll be half the distance and be 1st and goal at the 5 since you're at the 10. Yeah, they got tangled up. They might pick this up, to be honest with you. They picked up a couple other flags today. If they do, this crowd's going to boo the shit out of them. 2 fouls, got a pass interference on the offense. And then a pass interference on the defense. So they call it both ways, and they'll offset, they'll replay it down. 2nd and goal from the 10. Son of a bitch. Yeah, so they could have 1st and goal at the 1, but now 2nd and goal at the 10 still. They'll replay it because of the offsetting penalties. Punch him in the fucking mouth. Punch this fucker in. Trubisky in the gun with Connor Hayward in motion. Trips in a bunch near side now. Over the middle, caught Freiermuth, touchdown Steelers. 2:30 to play. Down 3, make it 2 with the extra point if it's up and good. Hey, third time's a charm in the red zone. First 2 were picked off. That's for 6. I'd kick it deep. You got to get a stop on defense, though. You got to call your 2 timeouts. Remember that third timeout, third 13, play clock was winding down. That might come back to bite him. Fuck, he had Najee wide open far side and flat, too, on a screen. He would have walked in. Went over the middle to Freiermuth, touchdown. And the extra point will be up and good. 16-14 with 2:30 to play. I'd kick it deep. I would. Because this defense needs the stop of the game. But you call your 2 timeouts, then you have that third timeout as a 2-minute warning. You get the ball back with under 2, needing a field goal to win it. And Boswell's field goal was blocked from 40. Of course, you'd like to, score a touchdown to win it, but field goal, I'd kick it deep right now. I would. I want it, because you don't want to kick an onside kick, not get it, and then give them a short field. They score a touchdown, the game's for sure over. Okay, they kick a field goal. You're still down 5, but then time ain't going to be on your side. You're going to be under 2, probably no timeouts. They can run the clock out on you. I'd kick this deep. I'd kick it deep. I would. Believe in the defense. Call your 2 timeouts. The third with a 2-minute warning. That third timeout, though, third 13, delay, the play clock was running down. Could have got a delay game. That's going to come back to bite them, it looks like. But I'd kick this deep. I would. And it looks like they will. I'd kick it deep. Call your 2 timeouts. Third with a 2-minute warning. Hope to get the... Now, if you don't get a stop, game's over. But, yeah, I'd kick this deep. And they will. Good decision. Because you don't want to give them a short field because they score a touchdown, game's over. Let alone, like I said, kick field goal, still on 5. Time ain't going to be on your side. So return, Millette on the tackle. Be 1st and 10, Baltimore, 2:24 to play. Steelers down 2, 16-14. Come on, defense. Who's it going to be? TJ Watt again? Cam Hayward, Minka in the back end? They're going to run the ball. I'd be shocked if they throw. I would. But at the same time, I want it. Because, they, like I said earlier, they'd go for that dagger. They'd go deep. Out of the pistol. And they will run it. Got to stop it. Gus Edwards for 6, timeout. Be 2nd down with 2:18 to play. Devin Bush maybe, if he's back in there following the injury. Even Hayward. Wormley had the punch out on the fumble earlier, was injured. DeMarvin Leal has returned. Somebody just step up and make a damn play, why don't you? Because if not now, when? Second and 4. That was a good stat since 07, I think it said. There's a 1 point and a 1-win differential with these two when they meet all time in the past 15 years, 16 years. Second and 4, they'll hand off again. Gus Edwards, they stuff him. 3rd and 4, timeout, 2:14. And then that third timeout's going to be the 2-minute warning if you can get a stop here. You give up a 1st down, this game's over. Because they can take a knee and run it out. And they'll win it 16-14. Steelers don't have any timeouts. That third timeout, they still get the 2-minute warning then, if they'd have it, but that third timeout now is going to be the 2-minute mark. 3rd and 3, they got to get a stop. They got to get a stop. Exactly. Yep. Third and 3. Maybe the play of the game right now. From the 28, 3rd and 3. Will they throw is the question. Duvernay in motion. They'll fake a toss to him, hand off Gus Edwards, first down, game's over. Motherfucker. Ravens are going to win it 16-14. They can take a 2-minute warning and knee it out from here. And, that third timeout, that's a 2-minute warning. If they would have gone off the field, ain't going to matter. Let alone the third timeout comes back to bite them in the ass because play clock was running down. They had to burn it on 3rd 13 on offense there. But then it still circles back around. They had 4 drives inside the 20 in the red zone. And then nothing to show for it. 3 interceptions and then a blocked 40-yard field goal. That right now could give them a 1.17-16 lead. And then Baltimore, with 2 to play here, is driving for a game-winning field goal of their own, and the Steeler defense is still trying to get off the field. But they're going to lose 16-14 and lose at home, I might add, for the second straight game and the second straight time against a divisional opponent. They play the Browns at home week 18, so we'll see how that goes. But with a loss today to get to 5-8, hope, of course, the Browns lose to the Bengals as well, and the division stays put at 9-4 and 5-8 for first and technically second place, which is last though. The Steelers after today cannot afford any more losses if they want to have a winning record and a winning season. Because if they lose today, which they're going to, 16-14, Ravens can drain the clock, unless there's trouble with the snap on a kneel down and so on and so forth. They get a turnover of some sorts. Or still had that third and final timeout. I mean, I could probably get the ball back with, probably 20 seconds. Potentially if they get a stop still. But lose a day, fall to 5-8, they got to win out to get to 9-8 to have a winning record and a winning season. Let alone, still get some help and make the playoffs, which that is seemingly going to be out of the question at this point. As they go to Carolina next Sunday, get the Raiders on Christmas Eve night, and then go to Baltimore on New Year's, and then the Browns week 18. But there's the first kneel down. Steelers can't stop the clock. 4 drives in the red zone for a max of 28 points, but really 24, but a minimum of 12 or anywhere in between. But you have nothing and you lose by 2, so do the math and voila, there's your difference. And the turnovers and special teams is why they're going to lose. There's another kneel down. They'll have to knee it once more, and then that'll do it. And the Ravens will beat the Steelers 16-14 today. And also beat the Steelers for the first time since December of 19, pre-COVID. As actually looking back now with these two, when somebody has a 4-game winning streak, they lose that 5th game. Because the Ravens had won 4 from 15 to 16 and then lost to the Steelers on Christmas. And then Pittsburgh won 4 straight from late 19 to when they beat Baltimore week 18 last year on the road, and then got help from the Raiders to make the playoffs before they lost to the Chiefs. They lose today. So I mean, they've won 4 or 5 and 8 of 12, but they lose today, and they fall to 5 and 8, and now they got to win out and get a lot of help if they even want to make the playoffs at that point. As post-game handshakes with Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh, and CBS couldn't give us bonus coverage, but that's the end of the game. 0-0 and final score. Ravens beat the Steelers today, officially 16-14 your final score. So yeah, this is a tough loss for sure, no doubt about it. Once again, 4 trips into the red zone and nothing to show for. 3 turnovers and a blocked field goal. And you lose by 2. Like I said, it could have been a max of 28 points, seemingly 24. Those 3 interceptions are touchdowns, because they're all passes, right to the goal line. And then the blocked field goal from 40. So yeah, max of 28, about 24, minimum of 12, if not nothing, which it was, or anywhere in between. And like I said, you lose by 2. And you fall to 5 and 8. Entering today, you could only afford, 1 more loss to have a winning record. So now with the loss, they have to win out to get a winning record. They still got to play the Ravens, and they still got to play the Browns, who now have Deshaun Watson at quarterback, but they're losing after they beat the Texans last week at Cincinnati right now. As they give us bonus coverage with the Jets and Bills, and it's continuing to snow in Buffalo. 20-9, Bills on top with 3:40 to play, and Jets down 2 scores at 11, need a touchdown and 2-point field goal to tie to force overtime. They still got 3 timeouts, 2 in the warning, but looks like the Bills will win. Then they play the Dolphins next Saturday night, and arguably game for the division if the Dolphins would win, because they already beat them once this year. Eagles are going to beat the Giants, I might add, on Fox. It's 48-14 right now. So Philly just started fast and then kept scoring and scored some more and just scored again. So they'll get to 12-1. One loss to Washington, who's off this week, as mentioned. As are the other teams that also have bye weeks this week, as mentioned earlier. I believe this is the final week for bye weeks, I might add, too. Because we'll get into a week before Christmas next week, and then Christmas weekend, and then New Year's, and then week 18. And Pittsburgh next week, we'll go to Carolina next Sunday at 1, which is a winnable game, as is the Raider game on Christmas Eve night. And still, as mentioned, it'd be nice to win both Raven games. Just don't lose them both. If they could split with Baltimore and then beat Cleveland, and of course going to have to win out and win the other 2 games, like I said, as well against Carolina and Silver and Black. At this point, you hope for the winning record and the winning season, because even if they would get help, it's going to be a lot of help, and it's going to be out of the question, and they're not going to make the playoffs. Because they got swept by the whole entire ACs. They've swept the whole entire NFC South. They play the final 4th team in Carolina next week. So we'll see what happens there. But they haven't won at home in a month since they beat the Saints. They still only scored 14 points today. So a max and a win, as mentioned earlier, it's 24-30 and a loss. Like, they got to score points. They got to score touchdowns rather than settle for 3. But hell, they didn't even get a chance to settle for 3 today because they turned the ball over. And even when they did have to settle for 3, it got fucking blocked. So, like, just anything and everything that could go wrong for them, not being able to catch a break, so on and so forth, did in fact go wrong today. Tough loss for sure, no doubt about it. Like I said, that I think it was the 3 interceptions. They only got a couple points off of them. Do the math there. Don't turn the ball over for the first 2 interceptions. You're up 14-13, hypothetically. Yeah, that's right. Third one, did they get a field goal off of that? I think they did. So you don't turn the ball over there either. But then if you have your 40-yard field goal, you're up 17-16. And then, Baltimore is kicking a game-winning field goal. Or trying to, at least. So on and so forth. The 3 turnovers and the blocked field goal. Just an absolute gut punch. 4 trips once again in the red zone. And no points to show for it. And they lose by 2 once again. When the max they could have had was 28, about 24, minimum 12, or nothing like they had, or anywhere in between. Do the math. They don't turn the ball over, make the field goal, they win this game. Not easily or pretty handily, but they win the game. Another 1-score game, and they lose by 2. When they just won by 3 and 7 the past 2 games. So, yeah, this is a game they're going to want back. That, honestly should be a win. You add this to the games they should have won this year. Makes it at least another 4, maybe 5 games. And they're 5-8. So do the math there. They have 8, 9, 10, maybe even 11 wins right now. Just on the wrong end of it. Can't win the close games again. They got to find a way to win these close games. Which they seemingly did, but now it's gone back because, well, they're able to run the ball to extent today, but not much. Not the way they have been since the bye week. And they couldn't stop the run. We'll get into the final stats and scores here in a minute. And then we'll sign off, and I'll be back on later, and also tomorrow and next week as well. For more live watch long reactions over on YouTube, so be sure to tune back in. But, the turnovers were killer. I'm sure there's people saying that, well, if Pickett wouldn't have got hurt, he would have made some plays. He wouldn't have turned the ball over, so on and so forth, and they would have won this game. Yes, I can understand that. I'm thinking it myself, but at the same point in time, he didn't really play today. He was 0 for 1 passing because they weren't thrown when he was in there, and then he got hurt. As they were trying to establish a run game, and then it, sort of went away when Trubisky came in, even though it was there a little bit still. I mean, they had a rushing touchdown, and then Trubisky had a passing touchdown to Freiermuth. If only he had a couple more passing touchdowns, those interceptions to touchdowns. Pickens with a quiet game, even though he did have a couple big plays. Offensive line didn't look half bad. I thought once again, the penalties were for the most part on the Ravens. They still scored after that offsetting pass interference anyway. It's just the defense. They couldn't get off the field when they needed to late. They almost had a fumble. Chris Wormley punched it out. Joint possession. Ravens kept it. If only they, you got to feel for this defense, but at the same point in time, it's like, they also could have made, some more stops. But, the turnovers on offense aren't their fault, That's why you got to feel for them, because they were out there a lot today. That's what Pittsburgh didn't win the run game. They didn't win the time possession battle. Didn't win the turnover battle either, which that was a killer. 3 turnovers. They're just lucky the Ravens didn't do more with it, because then it would have been a blowout and they wouldn't even have been in this situation. But at the end of the day, a loss is still a loss. Like, you lost. They had... officially, yes, more total yards and more yards passing. But the run game, as mentioned, felt like whoever was going to have the better running game was going to win this game, and it was the Ravens, and they did win 16-14. They had 215 yards rushing compared to Pittsburgh's 65. They had 42 attempts as a team for 215 when Pittsburgh was 20 of 65. And then time possession, -5, -3 in turnovers, blocked 40-yard field goal. Just frustrating. And if Pickett's going to be out, Trubisky starts next week. I think that'd be all right. I'm not saying that because the season's over and it's like you rest him. You want to get him experience in this situation, yes, no doubt about it. But if he can't play because of a concussion and they're not going to let him play, he can't play then. But Lamar Jackson was out, and the Ravens still beat the Steelers with Tyler Huntley and Anthony Brown. Huntley was 8 of 12, 88 yards passing. And then Anthony Brown was 3 of 5, 16 yards passing. But J.K. Dobbins had 15 carries for $120 and a touchdown. And Gus Edwards, who got the first down run there with 2 minutes to play when Pittsburgh needed to make a stop on 3rd and 3, got it, and they needed out from there, and the game's over. 13 carries for Gus Edwards, 66 yards rushing. DeMarcus Robinson, 5 of 52. Deshaun Jackson, 2 of 34. Mark Andrews did have 2 catches for only 17 yards, but those were 2 big catches. And then, of course, Tucker was 3 of 3 on field goals from 42, 35, and 30. So there's 9 points there. Whereas Boswell, of course, missed a 40-yarder because it was blocked. Presley Harvin didn't foot field that well. They lucked out with the, 1 yard line. But then Baltimore still got breathing room. And then, Pittsburgh got the ball back. And so on and so forth. Into the fourth quarter they went, and then they ended up scoring. But the turnovers and this field goal is what it comes down to. Trubisky, in relief of Kenny Pickett, who officially was 0 of 1 passing, sacked once, 2 of 16 rushing. Trubisky was 22 of 30 for 276 and a touchdown. He was also sacked once, I might add, as well. So the line did give up 2 sacks today, but then 3 interceptions in the red zone. Najee Harris, 12 carries, 33 yards rushing and a touchdown. Deontay Johnson led the team in receiving, 6 of 82. George Pickens, 3 catches, 78 yards. Pat Freiermuth, 3 of 33 and a touchdown, but then, targeted a few more times, and then 2 of those 3 interceptions were intended for him. I might add Sims had a couple big catches, 4 of 30. Najee Harris, 2 of 17 on the backfield. Jalen Warren, 2 of 16 out of the backfield. Connor Hayward had a big catch, I thought, a catch for 13 yards. Coming off his touchdown game last week. Yeah, I mean, even if they don't turn the ball over, if even they do, they score, on some of the drives they had to punt, but that's neither here nor there. It's frustrating, like I said, gut punch, close game, another close loss, another 1-score game. The turnovers were killers, and the blocked 40-yard field goal, because once again, you do the math, when you lose by 2, you had 3 interceptions in the red zone, and a blocked 40-yard field goal. So start with a blocked 40-yard field goal. You have that, okay, they're kicking a game-winning field goal once again, potentially. Miss it, make it, win or lose there. I mean, you still lose, and you still come back with the turnovers. Because, it's a max 28 points. About 24, honestly, though. Minimum of 12 or nothing as they had, or anywhere in between. And you lose by 2. So they left points off the board. No doubt about it. And the Ravens win it 16-14 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Pittsburgh will go to Carolina next Sunday, take on the Panthers. And former Steeler minority owner in David Temper. Winnable game for sure. But Carolina's fighting potentially for a playoff berth if they'd win the NFC South. Even after firing Matt Rule earlier this season. The good thing about it is Pittsburgh have already beat the other three teams in that very division, in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the New Orleans Saints, and last week, of course, at Atlanta against the Falcons. So they go to Carolina now next Sunday. They can't afford to lose now the rest of the way if they want to have a winning record and a winning season. Because if they lose one of their next four, if not more than that, losing record, losing season for the first time since 2003. Which I almost bit my fucking tongue off right there when I said it. But truth hurts sometimes. So, of course, I'm not coaching, I'm not playing, they are. I'm just calling as I see it. And yeah, tough loss. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, you know, tough shit. Win some, you lose some. Even if they would have won this game, did they deserve to win? Probably not. Did the Ravens even deserve to win this game? Probably not either. But, you know, I mean, a tie would have been interesting. What are they going to do? Get fucking safety? You know, 16-16 and then nothing in overtime. Or, you know, back and forth with field goals potentially of some sort or something like that. Like, no. Like, I'm just rambling on at this point. Like, yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Tough shit. Like, they, once again, got to get back to finding ways to win these close games. And they can't be turning the ball over as many times as they did. Simple as that. And they got to get back to the running game. It's like it was there today, but it wasn't. And then they couldn't stop it on defense. And that's why they lost, because they couldn't stop the run game, and they turned the ball over as many times as they did on offense and left as many points off the board as they did. So I'm sure Tomlin will keep it, you know, short and sweet in the press conference. You know, we'll see what the future holds for everything Pittsburgh Steelers football, with injuries and, you know, the games ahead and, you know, so on and so forth from there. But they can't afford to lose any more games now this year, once again, if they want to have a winning record. It's that 17th game. You know, they're sitting at 5-8. They still have to win out to get to 8-8 at 500 under the old format anyway. So they still got to win out, you know, in the extra game to have a one game above 500, because it's that 17th game to finish at 9-8 rather than at, you know, 8-9, because that's still a losing record then. You're one game below 500 at that point. So, yeah, there's not really much else to be said. They should have won this game, no doubt about it, but they didn't. So, you know, what can I do? What can any of us do other than, you know, talk about it, bitch, complain all we want. So, yeah, it's just frustrating. Like I said, a gut punch, especially when you leave that many points off the board. When, you know, the 2 points was a hell of a lot closer than it was. And you can't get much closer than 2 points, other than 1 point, let alone tying it or being in the lead. But they should have won this game, but they didn't, because they left as many points off the board as they did because of the turnovers, and couldn't stop the run on defense. So I'll leave it at that. There's not much else to be said. So, yeah, Ravens win it 16-14, and Pittsburgh goes to Carolina now next Sunday, also at 1:00. Before then, they'll be on a short week on a Saturday night at home against the Raiders, right before Christmas, on Christmas Eve night, and then go to Baltimore and get Cleveland week 17 and 18. So, Bills winning bonus coverage on CBS against the Jets, and the Cowboys winning bonus coverage on Fox against the Texans. And I'll be back on a little bit later on for more live watch long reactions over on YouTube. So be sure to tune back in. But yeah, I'll leave it at that with the Ravens-Steelers game as Baltimore beats Pittsburgh 16-14 and snapping a 4-game losing streak, winning for the first time since December 19 when they ran all over them in the rain that afternoon, from what I can recall, in the final week of the regular season. Before then, the Chiefs went on to beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, and then COVID hit. And then, it seems a lot longer from 19 to now since last time the Ravens beat the Steelers, but it's only been since then officially. More bonus coverage on Fox, I might add, as well. Vikings, Lions, and Detroit going to beat Minnesota, looks like 34-23. So we'll talk about standings and best team here, best team there, so on and so forth. But later on, Pittsburgh couldn't afford to lose, but they did. And even if they did lose, they definitely can't lose the rest of the way. They got to win out to get a winning record. And then I've seen crazier shit happen. They need a lot of help to make the playoffs, but it seems like the playoffs are out of the question at this point. So, at this point, it's like, okay, win out, get the winning record, no losing season, and keep that streak going. But, at the same point in time, just ask Mark Callaway. Streaks are meant to end, but that extra 17th game's at 1 in the 21-1, if you will. But yeah, just tough. This sucks. This loss hurts. It does. Just knowing they, probably should have won this, and you lose it by 2 when you lost or left as many points off the board as he did, and you lose by 2. With all the turnovers, not being able to stop the run, though, that's why they lost. So, yeah. We'll leave it at that. Just once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below, as always. Be sure to scroll down, check out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Red subscribe button, notification bell next to it right here on YouTube as well. And that'll do it. So, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. And Ravens beat the Steelers 16-14 your final score. Pittsburgh falls to 5-8, and they'll go to Charlotte, North Carolina. Maybe they'll start fast with all the speed they got down there in the hills, and give us a early Christmas gift with a win, and then another one on a short week the night before Christmas against the Silver and Black as well. And then you got 2 divisional games from there. You win those, okay. Winning record, winning season. Maybe you get help, probably won't. And then you're on to next year at that point. Because I can already hear people saying, well, after the loss today, the season's over. And yeah, for the most part, that's right to an extent. They still got 4 games, though, last I checked, ahead of them at Carolina. Then they get the Raiders. And then they go to Baltimore, take on the Ravens. And then they get the Browns. But people are going to be saying, well, And this goes back to what I said about, if Pickett ain't healthy to play, Trubisky's going to play, no doubt about it, and Rudolph will be backing him up. Because you want Pickett to be playing in, situations like this. Get him more experience. But if he ain't healthy, what can you do? That's how it was today. He got hurt. Trubisky came in, and then, they didn't get the job done because he turned the ball over, and they couldn't stop the run on defense. But the defense didn't turn the ball over. That's not their fault, but they still couldn't get stops. But I can already hear people saying, well, they need to, be in position for a good draft pick and so on and so forth. And I mean, this past year, they made a ton of moves in the offseason with free agency, and they drafted all right, I thought. Get a steal with Jalen Warren as an undrafted rookie free agent running back, backing up Najee, for God's sakes. They're going to most definitely have to get a third receiver. And then, defensively, yeah, there's going to be some question marks here or there with this position or that position, more so than not in middle D with middle backers. Which we all know Devin Bush ain't coming back next year anyway, so that's going to open up to begin with. But we'll get to all that, when we get to it. That's a ways off from now. They still got 4 games ahead of them. And that's why I keep going back. If they can take care of business, they'll be all right. Of course, they didn't take care of business today, and they lose by 2 when they left as many points off the board as they did. With the turnovers, not being able to stop the run, and so on and so forth. Sound like a fucking broken record at this point, but, it's just stinger, gut punch, however you want to put it. Losing sucks. And the Steelers lose officially 16-14 in final score against Baltimore Ravens today. So, yeah, once again, I'll leave it at that. That'll be it for sure. Unless I say something else and go on a tangent, ramble about that. But just as always, thanks for tuning in and listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. So, yeah, Ravens beat the Steelers 16-14 today, and Carolina awaits. Should win that game. Should honestly win a good portion of their Final Four. Because I thought, and here I go again. People were probably saying, well, yeah, here he goes again. Blah, 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 blah. You think I care? No. A couple weeks ago, that I thought entering today they could have been very well 6-6, which they were 5-7 because they lose to the Bengals in a game they should have won, I might add, because they had to settle for 3. Way too much. And then, today, the field goal block, the turnover, so on and so forth. More points left off the board. They lose today, but yeah, they just got to win out. If they win out and finish with a winning record, even with miss out in the playoffs, I won't be that good of a happy camper, but I'll be a, try best behavior happy camper. Just when it's there for the taking, and then it just slips right through the grasp of their hands. This one sucks. This one stings. Like I said, gut punch. Best way to put it. Especially with all the turnovers. Because even if the blocked field goal is blocked, they score some points off the turnovers they turned it over on. Or if they still turn the ball over, and then they have the blocked field goal. Like I said, you do the math, 99% sure they win this game at that point. But then, Baltimore also has Justin Tucker, who was 3 for 3 on field goals today. So there's 9 points once again. And the 9 points that it was on the date they beat them last year and then get help on Sunday Night Football to make the playoffs, comes back to bite them today. And the timeout, 3rd and 13, play clock winding down, they had to call a timeout. Let's get delay game, 3rd and 18. Of course, the field goal still blocked anyway. That's what, came back to bite him a little bit there at the end, for sure. But they're still only averaging, a good 20 points a game, give or take. And they're 5-8. That's what, a couple of these games, the close games at least, got blown out twice, but those blowouts are a hell of a lot closer than they are. Like what the final score shows. They win these close games. It's not 5-8. We're not talking about, okay, we can only lose one more entering today. Now they can't lose at all. Got to win out. They have a couple more wins, and they have a good spot. Hopefully, not going to choke down the stretch. And for sure, probably in the playoffs at that point. But that's not how it's gone. They've had their chances. They have, and I don't want anybody saying either that, Tomlin needs to go and everything else. No, don't even start. Was he playing today? No, but he was the head coach and he coaches, okay? I get that much. Yeah, they have some issues here and there, but of course, Trubisky ain't the long-term answer, though, either. They drafted Kenny Pickett in the first round for a reason, for God's sakes. And they've played him now for a good solid 2 months as a starting quarterback. And he's gotten hurt twice, so that might be a question mark. So maybe even next year, Trubisky's already on a 2-year deal anyway, with either a player or a club option. Maybe they still have the same 3 quarterbacks next year, for all we know. I don't know. I'm not calling the shots. But Trubisky did turn the ball over, but he, still gave him a good chance to win today. Even though he did turn the ball over, but he had to play because Pickett got hurt. They didn't have anybody else behind him. It would have been Zach Gentry because Rudolph wasn't dressed. Rudolph will dress next week if Pickett ain't playing. They'll have 2 quarterbacks for sure there. And then if you lose the Panthers, come on. But Najee ain't what he was last year by any means. Has been bothered with a foot injury. I think that would be the one thing offensively or overall as a team that I could see them doing with, if they would lose one of these final 4 games, but soon, that they could shut him down, the last couple of games, just to get him healthy, move on to next year. But he's going to want to play, though, too, because then he still has the whole entire offseason to, get healthy there. Yeah, just frustrating. No, but like I said, I don't want people saying that Tomlin needs to go and everything else. No, that's not why they lost today. Yeah, they could have been not necessarily better prepared because you know what the hell you're getting when you play the Ravens, for God's sake. And you've won 4 straight against them, but they just shot themselves in the foot too much today. They turned the ball over way too damn much. They couldn't stop the damn run. And that's that. And they left points off the board. Now, if it becomes a trend, that's a different story. Okay? But, one losing season potentially since 2007 with Mike Tomlin as the head coach. And one losing season in almost 20 years, dating back to the last time they had a losing season, in 2003 when Bill Cowher was still at the helm. I mean, any other fucking team would absolutely die to have that. Go to fucking, Cleveland. Go to Detroit. Go to a few other cities, that every once in a while they might have a good year. But then normally they're, bottom feeder, dumpster fire, if you will. Like, look at the Jets. Look at the Dolphins. Look at the fucking Jaguars. To name a few. The Bears, for God's sakes. Panthers, Saints, Falcons potentially, and Tampa was down that road until Brady showed up. So, yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda once again. But they still got 4 games to be played. And we'll talk more about all this at a later date. I'm just off the cuff right now talking. It's on top of my head. I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to see kickoff here. Tom Brady returning to the Bay Area. Take on his childhood team, the 49ers. Back at halftime for that game. About an hour and a half or so from now. That's actually today's question of the day on social media as well, as they're about to kick off. But yeah, I'll leave it at that once again. So Ravens beat the Steelers 16-14, and they can still take care of business. So we'll see if they can, because if not, then it's, down a narrow road they, aren't used to being on, or don't even want to, bring up to go down, and so on and so forth. That just, they're in a position they're not used to being in, long story short. But I guess, it's true. Every dog does have its day every once in a while. So, yeah, Ravens beat the Steelers 16-14. Steelers Panthers next Sunday, and then the Steelers host the Raiders on Christmas Eve night. I'll have live watch along reactions over on YouTube of both those games, as always, and then also on New Year's and Week 18, when Pittsburgh then would wrap up the season against the Ravens again, and then the Browns as well. So fall to 5-8 with the loss today, lose 16-14, but left a lot of points off the board, and with all the turnovers and not being able to stop the run, yeah, they should have won, but they lost. So 16-14, your final score. But in the meantime, once again, thanks for tuning in and listening. That'll officially now finally do it. Myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, going Luke 96, live right here on YouTube. So thanks for listening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And I'll see everybody shortly later on tonight and tomorrow. And more this week and next week, and in the days, weeks, and months to come, live right here on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe. Ravens beat the Steelers, however, the other day. Final score once again, 16-14.